Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it. Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. How you doing, Skip?
How are you, Jenny?
I'm great. How are you?
Well, all I know is live from Los Angeles last night was Tom Brady.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he just took over the hood that he lives in,
Great
featuring
interview.
LeBron James. Is he still, or did he move out of Brentwood now? I don't know.
All that good stuff that happened last night. Philly won, and this is what you talk about. The
I
start.
can't wait for that one.
Yeah?
I bet you can't wait for that.
It's
one.
interesting.
I can't wait for this one,
For
too.
this one, we have a
I
lot
can
to
wait
get
for
to.
that one.
Yeah.
You bring up both LeBron and Tom Brady. We're going to talk about that while the Lakers start listening to
Yep.
LeBron. And is Tom Brady now a late-night TV star? Because that interview, Shannon, we'll get to your opinion. But we are going to start with the NBA playoffs. The Sixers and Raptors came into Game 3 tied 1-1, but last night was all about Philly. Joel Embiid went off last night. 33 points, 10 rebounds, 5 blocks. He even put an exclamation point on the game with a windmill dunk in the fourth quarter. After the game, Coach Brett Brown said, quote, "We can talk about a windmill dunk, but I go to defense. He is our crown jewel defensively." The Sixers blew out Toronto to take a 2-1 series lead with Game 4 Sunday in Philly. So, Shannon, what happened last night?
Joel Embiid happened. In 28 minutes, Skip, he was 33 and 10. And if you're going to give you that kind of production in that limited amount of time, Toronto has no chance. He was dominant from the word go. And now you got Jimmy Butler, who's clearly their second option, playing extremely well, 22, 9, and 9. Ben Simmons chipped in, Tobias Harris. All their guys are playing really well. And what's concerning, Skip, if I'm Toronto, I've only got two guys playing well, and that's Siakam and Kawhi. And Kawhi has been phenomenal. I didn't see this from Kawhi. I didn't think he had this in his game, Skip. But when you look around, basically they're getting 6 guys to score in double figures on a nightly basis. That's what the Sixers are getting. And Toronto, the only two guys that are playing well, as I mentioned before, Skip, is Kawhi and Siakam. Kawhi and Siakam playing well. The rest of the team is shooting 30% from the floor, 23% from three. Skip, Kyle Lowry pulling a Copperfield again. He disappearing right before our very eyes. And, you know, magic, they say magic is the art of misdirection. No, he right there. I see him. He just disappeared right in front of our eyes. Nobody, pulled a rabbit or distracted him or anything. And Serge Ibaka and Van Vliet, they're becoming almost unplayable. He has to play them because there's only a certain amount of players that's on your bench, Skip. The thing that made Toronto so good in the regular season, Kawhi can miss 20 games, and they seemingly didn't miss a beat. Now he leaves, it goes downhill in a hurry. You look at Serge Ibaka, Van Vliet, Powell. Skip, they're awful. Kyle Lowry is awful. Marc Gasol is awful. So basically it's 2 on 5. Kyle Lowry's like, well, I got to give Kawhi more help. No kidding. Really? How long it took you to realize that, Kyle? Because we've been saying that for the longest time. This is, unless they can find an answer, and the thing that's really working well for the Sixers, Skip, is that it's 2 days in between. So that gives Joel Embiid's knee an extra day. Now Game 5 is only 1 day in between.
True.
So this is your opportunity. But I don't know, Skip. If they can't find a better answer for Joel Embiid, they're going home in 5 games.
So I'm hearing in Mr. Sharpe's voice today that the guy, Shannon Sharpe, who jumped off the Sixers bandwagon has jumped back on the Sixers and off number 2's bandwagon?
No.
Because
Not yet.
you were driving number 2's bandwagon.
Not yet, Skip, because hey, this is what happened. Okay, Game 1,
Yeah.
what happened Game 1? Toronto blew them out.
Yeah.
Game 3, first game in Philly, Philly blew them out. So let's see if Toronto's can flip the script and do to them what Philly did to them in Game 2 and Game 4. See if they can flip that script.
So you're not flipping your choice here,
Not yet,
right?
not yet.
You're still driving number 2's bandwagon?
Kawhi. Skip, he had to go last night. Did he look good?
I'm glad you brought that up because I don't know. Maybe your TV broke. You live in a much higher stakes neighborhood than mine. Maybe, maybe I lost power. Maybe you lost power. I don't know. But it seems to me that you did not watch the fourth quarter last night, or maybe you just swept it under your little carpet that you have over there that you sweep many things under. Because to answer Jenny's opening question, what happened?
What happened?
What happened last night was, yes, Joel Embiid happened for sure. But in the end, what happened was number 2 did not happen. That's what happened in that game last night, because I'm going to remind those who did watch the game carefully that number 2 did lead the charge in the third quarter, and he was extraordinary. And you made one great point. I've never seen him do that before, because he is shooting it at a much more consistent level than he ever shot it for my San Antonio Spurs, on whom he quit last year. But I won't get into that at this point. But he was extraordinary last night for a little while. And that little while was in the third quarter, and he made all 6 of his shots, 6 for 6, and they went on a 25-14 run. And early in the fourth quarter, they cut it to 7 points. And it felt like to me that Toronto had regained control not only of the game, but of the series. It felt like they were just going to steamroll through the fourth quarter and run away with another victory and total control of this series heading into Game 4. And what happened right on schedule? Number 2 did not happen. So guess what happens there? We saw Brett Brown in the between quarters interview on ESPN, and he just looked crazed to me. He looked tortured. He looked like he had seen a ghost. He looked shell-shocked. He was sputtering and stammering, and he said, I'll just paraphrase, but he said, we have just lost all of our defensive focus. Well, I don't know what he said in the sideline huddle, or maybe Jimmy Butler, who seems to be the new leader of that group. Somebody said something that pushed all the right buttons in all of the Sixers, because they exploded on Toronto out of the gates in the fourth quarter. They went on a 21-2 run. So remember, they just given up a 25-14. Thanks to your guy. He's your guy, he's not mine. And all of a sudden, Philly goes kaboom! 21-2 and ripped it open to a 26-point lead with 5 minutes left in the game.
Where was my guy at?
Woo!
Where was my guy?
Woo!
Did my guy start on the bench in the fourth?
You know what? I don't know where he was, because
You do know.
You know what?
You know, you do
He
know.
pulled a Copperfield.
Yeah,
He pulled a Copperfield. Poof! He was gone. He went right up in smoke, and everybody said, "How did you do that?"
Gone.
He disappeared. Would you believe in that 21-2 run? That guy, number 2 up in Toronto, formerly of the San Antonio Spurs, he scored none. He scored 0 points. He took 2 shots and missed both of those shots. He did make 2 free throws later in the game in garbage time, so he had 2 total points in the fourth quarter with
time.
0 baskets. He made 0 baskets. This is the guy I've been telling you about all year long. Cannot trust number 2.
You can't.
He'll always be number 2 to me.
Because he left your team, Skip. You need to get, first of all.
Last night he played like number 2.
You need to get
Yes,
past
he did.
it. So you're not going to give Joel Embiid any credit in this.
I love Joel Embiid, but this is what happened, is that number 2 didn't happen. It's indefensible. It got swept under the carpet because the Sixers were so explosively great. And obviously, I've been telling you all year, post-LeBron, now that LeBron is playing in the much tougher Western Conference, the new beast of the East is clearly Joel Embiid when his knees don't ache to the point that he can't jump anymore. Last night, to your point, I don't know how they fixed it. I don't know. He said he's taking 6 treatments a day.
Wow.
I'm not sure, but they got him comfortable enough that he had some movement last night. Not like the movement I saw a year ago, but some movement. And last night, he just strokes. When he's stroking threes, which is not all the time, but when he makes 3 out of 4 threes, you're in big trouble.
Right. So
Okay?
and that's the thing, though, Skip. He shot 50% from the floor, 9 of 18.
Yep.
75% from the three-point line. 90+% from the free throw line. Well, if he's playing like that in 28 minutes, Skip, what is Marc Gasol going to do? Marc Gasol have to give you something to offset that. Okay, he was a former Defensive Player of the Year.
He was.
I can't tell.
It was a long time ago. It was 2013.
But it's still on his resume, Skip.
All right, it is.
Okay, what about some points?
I thought he was really good in Toronto against Joel, but Joel was not only he not only had knee ache problems, arthritic problems, but he had stomach flu.
Right.
Yeah.
So what about, can we get more than 6 points? Because we got to get something to offset that, Skip. If you're not going to make him work on the other end, he's going to do what he's been doing, which is playing weak side and contesting shots and altering shots in the paint. because he doesn't respect Marc Gasol because he's giving you 6 points. Kyle Lowry, bruh.
What did I say yesterday? You can never trust him in any game of any magnitude. What did I say yesterday? You said, yeah, I know, because it was always
going home.
It was always against LeBron. Every time LeBron walked in that building, they genuflected. They dropped to their knees and said, we are not worthy, King, right? That's what kept happening year after year. It was same time next year between him and DeRozan, who came up pretty small for me in Game 7.
There you go.
Well, he just.
What about the first 3 games?
It's just who they are.
What about the first 3 games?
Well, Kyle Lowry's capable in some game that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
He'll have some big
These
shooting
matter.
night. I'd say this was one of those turning point games where you need to turn it on. And I told you yesterday, is it a good thing or a bad thing that he is going home to Philadelphia where he played for Villanova, right? I think it's not a good thing.
2 for 10, 0 for 4. Skip, that's minus 28.
Man. Okay, but did you trust him going in? No, you didn't.
But Skip, I thought he'd give us more than that.
I didn't. This is right on schedule for me.
Okay, what about Serge Ibaka? What about Van Vliet? He got that contract.
Once upon a time against my Spurs, Serge Ibaka made 11 of 11 shots in a crucial playoff game in Oklahoma City.
Skip, you
knocked my Spurs out of it.
You remember early in the season, Toronto goes to the Lakers, minus Kawhi, opens up a can on them. Everybody, as a matter of fact, Skip, Serge started the game 15 of 15. You remember that?
I do.
Van Vliet, everybody's doing like, oh my God. Then we had to start.
Where was LeBron Copperfield in that game?
Oh my goodness, Skip, this is not.
You brought it up. I'm just running through that door.
No, I brought up how balanced this team is. And when they play well, when they're flowing well, everybody's getting a piece of the action. Van Vliet and Serge, they're becoming almost unplayable. Gasol is giving you nothing. Kyle Lowry, again, he needs to go to Vegas with that act. They hired great magicians. You can make a lot of money in Vegas. Penn and Teller, they got the #1 show.
Why didn't number 2 rub off on his teammates? Why didn't he lift that team above the
Skip,
other team?
he can
if
do-
he's that guy you keep screaming about over there.
Oh, look, the man had 45, 35, and 31 last night. I mean, he can't
He's
do much.
down 2 games to 1.
That's
all I know. For
you
sure.
see what you do, Skip?
Yep.
I mean, he's playing unbelievable. And his teammates, because this
Was
team,
the fourth quarter unbelievable? Because that was the quarter that counted. They had him on the run, they had him on the ropes, and then all of a sudden they fell on their faces. 21-2 run to start the fourth.
Okay, so he's supposed to guard Joel Embiid?
Yep. What did I tell you yesterday? The mentally tougher team is the Sixers. They showed you that in Game 2.
They won on their home court.
They won Game 2 94-89. They held number 2's team on his home court, his new home court, to 89 points. They crushed number 2 team on the backboards 52-36 in Game 2. What was it last night? It was 45-35. Okay, how many rebounds did number 2 have last night? That dominating MVP.
Skip, that's not what
candidate?
you know what you see.
Okay, well, I'm looking. I'm trying to look, and I'm David Copperfielding here.
He had 4 rebounds. You know what he had.
Oh, wait. Oh, he had 3 rebounds.
He had 4. He had 3 offensive rebounds
Oh,
and a
I
defensive
see. He had
rebound.
4. Okay.
He had 3 assists.
4. There was one disappearing Copperfield rebound in there, but it reappeared. I don't know. It just came
Somehow.
out.
You know what? Yeah, I love how
So he
you
had
do that.
4 rebounds. Well,
But hold on.
Joel had a bunch of rebounds.
Yeah, Joel. Yeah. Hold on. What's Marc Gasol? Is Marc Gasol gonna help? Is he gonna keep Joel off the glass?
He's an older player.
What they got to do with it? He getting a young paycheck. I need the guys that you're counting on, Skip. This team you're counting on. Why'd you make that trade? You could have kept Valanciunas. You could have just kept him. Why'd you make that trade?
I don't know. Don't tell me. It's your team.
This is not my-
I don't care about
first
them.
of all, this is not
I don't
my
even
team.
care about them.
I know you don't.
I like the Sixers. I've liked them all year. I said they're the best team in the East. They're going to win the East. The Philadelphia 76ers.
You know what I noticed? You like them a lot more when Kawhi is getting beat. You seem to take great satisfaction.
I'm not surprised. I've seen this before. He was not that guy in San Antonio.
Yes, he
was
was.
not that guy.
Yes, he was that guy.
He didn't want to be that guy, which is why he talked and quit his way out of town.
He did not stop saying that. He did not quit.
Well, he did.
He did.
No, he did because he didn't want to have to live up to Duncan Parker Ginobili. It's too much.
Hold on. So you're going to put all this on Kawhi. Okay, let's just say Kawhi was
Is
guarding.
he not the guy? That's what you've been telling me.
Okay, so what are we going to do about these 6 guys that they got in double figures?
Here's the problem. What are you going to do about Philly's starting five? Because as Brett Brown pointed out last night after the game, they're still just evolving because they haven't been together that long. Yeah. They need these fire-testing playoff games to come together. Yeah. But if you do starting five versus starting five, who's got the better five?
Oh, Philly
Not
does.
even close,
yes.
right?
But I was thinking that the depth that you come with Serge and you come with Powell and Van Vliet, okay, now we're on to something because they can go. But look, I'm looking at this. Hold on. So you mean to tell me Marc Gasol and Kyle Lowry got outscored combined by J.J. Redick himself?
I don't even care because Joel Embiid probably got sick over the last 48 hours of hearing about Marc Gasol. And he just said, if his knee's right, he said, watch this. He is a nuclear weapon. He is the best big man in basketball.
Yes.
We're gonna argue about this later.
Sure.
Right.
Is he potentially the greatest big man ever? Well, sure, potentially given his health, which is shaky at best.
Yes.
But again, does he have the potential? Yes, he does. Yeah, you saw it on full display last night, not on just the offensive end. Can he not rim protect?
Yes, he's going to be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year.
Thank you.
But, Skip, nobody thought, even at Marc Gasol's prime, he could do anything with Joel Embiid if Joel Embiid is right. Nobody can. Skip, at 7'2", 300 pounds that can move like that, nobody's possessed this arsenal at a big man. No big man. Like you said, we're going to talk about this, but no big man can say, normally you say, well, if he could do this, he can. If he could do that, he can. Or,
where he psychologically cripples every opponent is, he's such a great free throw shooter. We've never seen a big man make free throws. He made 12 of 13 last night. Right. Here's what happens. When you're playing against Shaq or Wilt or even Bill Russell, you could just say, oh, foul them. Because, you know, they're going to make half of them at best. On a good night, they're going to make half. This guy against Boston this year, he shot 93%. It's extraordinary. He made 21 of 21 at Boston late this year. That's against your arch rival in the East. Last night, 12 out of 13. So every time you accidentally foul Joel Embiid, you're thinking to yourself, he's going to make them. Because he makes 80% of them.
Well, how about this? Since you keep on talking about all this Philly stuff, and Joel Embiid guys are
Philly
chipping.
stuff, it's the stuff.
Butler is doing his part.
Yeah.
Tobias Harris, JJ, Ben Simmons, now who's the third option, serves them very well. All these guys are doing what they're supposed to do. When are we going to get Kyle Lowry, Marc Gasol, Van Vliet, and Serge Ibaka to do what they're supposed to do, Skip?
Not soon enough.
Yeah, because, see, you like this.
Yeah. This is going south for Toronto.
So you count not Kawhi.
I told you, he the North.
Are you counting him out?
He the North.
So they're back being the baby dinosaur.
How do you like it now, number two? He the North.
I like
You're the man.
But here's the thing, Skip. You don't know this is a part of my master plan. I want the doors to get blown off him. So guess what'll happen then, Skip? He'll pack the bags and he'll flee the North. This will be the first time that someone leaves the North and heads south.
Flee the North? Is he going to have a T-shirt that says Flee the North? He should come out in Game 4 with that. No. Flee the North.
You know what?
Right?
They're back to being the baby dinosaurs.
Are they?
I thought.
Oh, you're back. He's off that bandwagon.
I thought. You know what, Skip? I was
told
like,
you.
we the North, and I was like, you the Raptors. I thought, because they be killing me. You know, I be going through my thing. They're like, oh, what you think about that, Shannon? We the North.
You're reading your.
I was like, now you're back to being the baby dinosaurs. But you know what, Skip? Sunday is basically it is a must win for Toronto.
Okay.
Well, Lowry said that they need to be better. He acknowledged.
No. Who is we? You need to be better.
He said all of us. He said during the game we acknowledge we have to be able to support him. At least they are aware how poorly they're playing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to just be really charitable here, and I'm going to I'll take Philly on Sunday for a case.
How many
straight
points?
Up, no points.
No, Skip. I need 5.
5?
Give me 5 points.
No, straight
5
up.
points.
Who's favored Sunday?
Philly.
Stop. Toronto's favored by 1 point on Sunday.
Really?
Double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's right.
I will
Toronto, I get 1 point, then I'll take Philly plus 1.
No,
I'm being charitable. It's 1.5.
5.
I just told you.
5.
I just
you keep telling
told
me,
you
hold on.
Toronto is favored. Straight up.
You told me.
I'm actually giving you a case here.
But you also.
I'm giving you. Am I right?
But you just told
Toronto. Vegas likes Toronto.
You just been 20 minutes telling me Kawhi's not that guy. But now you want me to take him. You just told me he's not the guy.
No, you're telling me he is the guy.
Okay, but you told so.
You
He's
just
not
made
the guy,
this case.
but now you want me to make
now they got him right where they want him because they're overconfident.
No, I didn't say they're
Yeah,
overconfident.
and I agree. Joel gets a little crazy. Sometimes he's airplaning and he's shoulder shimmying. He's doing all of it, right?
Game 4 is a must.
He even did rock the baby last night, right? But you know what? There's a big difference between Joel Embiid and Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard never took anything very seriously, but in the end, when it counts, when it's time to, as Joel said after the game, step on their throats, he's got cold-blooded killer in him that Dwight never has had.
No. The only thing that Dwight Howard could probably do better than Joel Embiid is play defense. In Dwight's prime,
I agree. That's a fair point. But
But
Joel is right there with him.
But on
He
the
is
offensive
right
end,
there.
Dwight Howard can't
Well,
see.
I mean, what offense? He had no offense.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you want
Give me
it?
5 points.
No. Toronto's favored.
I
You
need
have
5.
no guts, no glory.
They just went on a run. You just told me they went on a run, a 21-2 run.
Okay.
Okay. Damn Philly. I need 5.
You're trying to
I'm trying
Give
to
me
help
5.
you. I'm trying to
Give
help
me 5
you.
points.
Oh, stop it.
5.
Yeah, if you had any conviction, if you had any faith in number 2, you just say, thank you, I'll take that.
I tried to say I had conviction in Kyle Lowry. You like, oh, you had conviction in him. What did I tell you? See, how you gonna do this? You telling me that I shouldn't have gone with bet with the Raptors. Now you trying to get me to bet with them.
I had the Sixers from the start. I never wavered.
It's not over.
Okay. Well, then take them.
You
We'll
said
see.
it's must win.
Hold on.
Must win. You got them.
You know what, Skip?
Hey, number 2, rise and shine.
We're going to talk about this a little later.
Yeah.
Let me see.
You think
I
about
might,
that bet.
I might be able to summon up some courage and bet a little
Maybe.
Okay.
Give me the 1.5 the other way.
Okay, we have a different Game 3 to talk about before we get to that one on Sunday. Will James Harden and his red eyes lead the
Yeah, you
Rockets
saw that.
to
I
a
saw
Game
that
3
movie.
win? We'll discuss that next. Don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports Channel on Sirius XM. We'll be right back.
No mercy.
Spring is finally here, and if you're looking to get back into a great workout groove, we have to tell you about the latest from Peloton, the Tread. It offers an expansive range of boot camp, running, strength, walking, and stretching classes that reimagine the at-home total body workout experience. With Peloton Tread, convenience is key. Bring the best total body instruction to you at home on your time. Peloton knows you're busy. Classes range from 10 to 60 minutes long, so you can fit in a workout on your watch. Peloton Tread also provides access to trainers there to guide you through a wide variety of workouts. Work up a sweat with world-class instructors who are running, walking, stretching, and training by your side. The motivation is real time, and you never repeat the same workout unless you want to. The 32-inch HD touchscreen and powerful built-in soundbar make the Tread the most immersive and captivating workout experience. Don't miss a beat in a workout that feels larger than life. And with Tread, you can see your progress all in one comprehensive place. You'll be able to push yourself to new personal bests by tracking total output, distance, and heart rate. Discover the immersive and challenging total body training you can get from Peloton Tread. Peloton is offering listeners a limited time offer. Go to onepeloton.com, use the code UNDISPUTED to get $100 off accessories with the purchase of a Tread.
No mercy.
The Rockets are in a 2-0 hole with Game 3 tomorrow in Houston. Both teams are dealing with injuries to their star players. James Harden practiced yesterday after suffering an eye laceration in Game 2. He said he's going to play tomorrow, but added that the pain is tougher in bright lights. For the Warriors, Steph Curry dislocated the middle finger on his left hand in Game 2, but he was able to practice yesterday and is expected to play tomorrow. So, Shannon, who wins Game 3?
Rockets. And you heard what he said, Skip. You see his eyes? Have you ever seen someone's eyes naturally like that, Skip Bayless? No.
It looked horrible.
Now, Dodge,
He should be in the hospital.
you know what, Skip Bayless? Red eye.
Jenny wants him to be in the hospital.
I would be, for sure.
You know, the red eye reminds me of
so
something. You know,
scary.
Dodge got a Hellcat red eye, Skip. I better not see you on the road. I might be getting one to bust you up on the coming up Avenue of the Star. But anyway,
you would have no shot against
anyway,
me.
Skip, listen, the Rockets haven't played particularly well, and they've still been in all these ball games. Now, I believe they can keep the Warriors off the glass from getting 18 offensive rebounds. I believe they can cut down on the turnovers. I'm not going to say cut it in half, but they can be around, say, 11, 12. That's 6 possessions where at least where you get the ball to the rim, as opposed to turning it over and letting Golden State get extra opportunity. Because as you mentioned the other day, Golden State got the ball up 91 times. But when you turn it over as many times as the Rockets did, when you allow them to get 18 offensive rebounds, which the Rockets allowed them to do, this is what's going to happen.
Houston took only 77 shots.
Yes.
Okay.
James Harden is averaging 32 points in the playoffs. He averaged 36 in the regular season. He's shooting 30% from three. He shot 37% in the regular season. He's averaging 5 assists a game. He averaged about 8 in the regular season. So all his numbers are down. But they won't be like that on Sunday.
Okay.
40 piece.
40 piece.
40 spot.
Go 50.
No, he ain't going to 50.
Why not?
He going to go 40, though. And they're going to win this game. That's what I do know, and we got due on that.
We don't have to. I have to tell you. I just told you. I picked Houston to win this series. So why would I bet against myself?
Well, I picked the Warriors, but I'm still taking the Rockets to Skip. I don't know why you do this. You could pick you could pick somebody to win the series and then pick against them in a game.
I know,
is true.
But if Golden State wins this game, it's over, right? This is it.
Yeah, you're not beating them 4 times.
Right. So why would I bet against the team that's on the brink here? Like their last chance is they have to win this game. This is another must win.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're not coming back.
No,
I don't think. I mean, it's happened before.
No,
but
no. You're not winning 4 games. You might win
fall
3-1.
behind 3-0 have a series record of 135.
So they're not coming back.
Only 3 teams have ever forced Game 7.
And the Rockets won't be one of them. Won't be number 4. So I need Capella to give me 2015 CP3. I need you to call your All-State agent.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe you should bring him out on the court with you.
He's
always there.
You might need to get some
to
flood
save him,
insurance.
right?
There ain't no flooding going on here, but maybe some
Storm windows. You got to put storm windows
maybe
up.
a fire or earthquake insurance or something, CP3.
Yeah.
I need you Sunday.
Yeah.
I need you, CP3. CP3 gonna give me 20 and 10.
So I did pick Houston. But the game I needed, the game I wanted, the game I thought I would win was game number 1 at Oracle, where the Warriors have struggled all year. They were forced into a tight turnaround from a Friday night Game 6 at Clippers at Staples here in L.A. to Sunday afternoon facing a Houston team that was rested and had spent 48 hours in the Bay Area to get acclimated and to practice at Oracle. You couldn't ask for much more, and then it was announced pregame that both Steph and Clay have some sort of ankle issues. I don't know how big a deal it was, but at least you got that going for you.
Hold on. Why you do that? Why you talking about you didn't know how big a deal that was, but James Harden looking like somebody done hit him in the eye like 5 times, and you talking about, I can't tell if anything's wrong.
I don't know how big a deal their ankles were, but they combined in game 1 to make 5 total threes. Is that good? That's the kind of game you can win, right?
Yes.
And everything was going their way except the referees. And I believe the referees flat out stole game 1 from Houston. And I think it psychologically devastated Houston. And I told you a couple days ago, they stepped on the floor in game 2. They were mentally defeated. And I know they kind of hung in and hung on. Yeah. But every time they made any push, Golden State said, nope, not in this house, not this time, not you guys. And that was that. So, again, James came back and played very well with red eyes. You know, he played very well. Well, he just did. He was,
why you poo-pooed it there? Why you downplayed it?
Because he was even joking about it. Like, I got eye drops after he made that big 3.
Did you
I got
see
eye
the man
drops.
eyes yesterday, Skip?
Huh?
So does that look like a man that's totally 100%
Maybe
healthy?
he just stayed up too late.
So he been at the club. So he been at the club where they smoking at his eye. That's smoke.
Yeah, I don't
Real
know.
redness. I don't know about that.
You know how that goes.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
You know how that looks.
Yes,
Yeah.
Skip. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah. So here's what's going to come down to game 3. This is going to be 2 former teammates, mano a mano. It's James Harden, formerly of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and Kevin Durant, formerly of the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? They practice each other, they're good friends, and here they go. It's all or nothing between those 2 because they are the 2 keys to this game. And the reason I favor Golden State, I will be rooting for Houston, but the reason I favor Golden State is what have we seen from Kevin Durant, that 7-foot monster, in game 3s on the road? What have we seen from him? We have seen all-time greatness. And do I even have to bring up what happened? 2017, Game 3 of the Finals in the King's house, right? What happened? 31 points happened, and the shot of shots right in LeBron James face. Remember the three?
What happened in 2012, Game 3?
Okay, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk 2018, was just a year ago, Game 3 in the King's house. Kevin Durant put up 41 points and just slammed the door on the King as they swept the King and his Cavaliers, right? So what has happened this year? What did we see in 3 games against the Clippers on the road at Clippers? Game 3, and then 4, and then 6. Guess what Kevin Durant went for at Staples against the Clippers, who had bedeviled him at Oracle? He goes 38, 33, and 50. 50. Boom, boom, boom. He averaged 40 points a game on the road against the Clippers, who could be pretty tough defensively.
They are.
40 points. So Kevin Durant is loving this. He's on fire for this.
You know what, Skip? I want Kevin Durant to go mano-a-mano.
Yep.
Because the reason why is because James Harden plays that style. His team is used to seeing him going mano-a-mano and standing around and hoping to get the pass. That's not what Clay does. That's not what Steph. They're not used to playing that style. So I hope it's a mano-a-mano ball game and the ball isn't moving because that plays right into our hands.
Okay. I am hanging on to Kevin Durant's quote to our man Chris Haynes the other day on Yahoo because it said it all about what he's doing to the NBA and to these playoffs right now. He said, this is where this SH, you know what, is fun. He said, this time of year is what I'm geared for. He said he enjoys the competitiveness right now. He said, you go through such a long season to get this point, and now it's time to produce. And he is producing at an extraordinary level.
You know what I noticed? I noticed he only became built for this bleep the last 3 years. He wasn't built for this in OKC. You noticed that too, Jenny, huh?
Oh.
That's when he became built for it.
I told you.
Oh,
The timing is
interesting.
interesting.
He was hampered. He was victimized.
You know what?
He was a...
You know what? That's what I'm doing. I was built for TV. I didn't say that till I got here. 3 years. We arrived at the same time. Me and KD arrived at the same time. You know that, Skip? So I'm built for this. That's what KD said. I'm built for this.
Well, I'm occasionally handicapped by you, but I just rise above it. I just overcome it. You know,
We can.
I can overcome it better.
So, in other words, you believe. So, are you saying that you like? Obviously, you like say Houston.
Well,
Houston.
Are they going to climb back in? They have to win 2 games at home. Can they do that?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm also going to remind you this. Late in the year, remember, they played 4 times this year in the regular season.
Right.
And Houston won 3 of them, but Houston did not win the last game, which was at Houston, and there was no Kevin Durant in that game.
And go ahead. And true. And all the games were close. Remember the
They
game
were.
that won at Oracle. James Harden had to hit that bomb 3 with 3 guys on it.
Okay.
So all the games are going to be close, Skip.
Okay, but every time you talk about James Harden, you have to put it in the context of regular season or real games, games that really count, playoff games.
Well, how about he rise and shine in this one?
Okay, well, I haven't ever seen it from him the way you better see it now.
Well,
'Cause
yeah.
this is the ultimate test. He's on your clock right now.
But Skip,
You have to see whether he's made of what he appears to be made of in regular seasons because we haven't consistently seen this in the postseason.
Occasionally we'll see it, but more times than not, Skip, it's a very, very, very special player that can increase his regular season scoring average and his playoff scoring average. So he's higher in the postseason than he is in the regular season. It takes a very special player to do that.
But sometimes the numbers are deceiving. You can't just, because you always throw at me, 27, 8, and 8, LeBron James. But who won the game? Who made these shots? Who made the key plays? Not your guy.
Hold on, Skip. But when they say the average, they don't say, well, he averaged this in the wins and this in the losses. He averaged 27, 8, and 8. LeBron James averaged 34, 8, and 8 throughout the entirety of the playoffs last year. They didn't win every game, but that's what he averaged. So stop trying to nitpick.
They got nitpicked. They got swept in the
Hold on.
finals. Swept.
Guess what?
Swept.
When Michael Jordan put up that 63-point performance? He got swept. And he got swept his first 3 playoff rounds
And then
in
what
his
happened?
NBA career.
Then what happened?
So stop doing that, Skip.
Then what happened?
You see what y'all do? See, what makes me so upset with you, who's the president of the LeBron James Hate Club, is that no matter what he does, if he lose, so what? He lost. Michael Jordan could lose. Man, but that was a great performance. Look who he went against. The big 3 Celtics. Are they in the Hall of Fame, Shannon? Was Larry Bird great? Was Robert Parrish? That's what you do. Stop doing that.
By the way, I was thinking about this last night.
What were you thinking about?
I was thinking about LeBron's career, because we were talking the other day about...
Reminiscing?
Well, no, I was just thinking about this because we were talking about the 3 he barely won. Do you realize of his 6 losses in the finals, They're not even close. They're wipeouts. Like it wasn't like, oh, he got robbed there, or if only that had happened there. There was no ifs, ands, or buts on any of the 6 losses. He got swept twice, right? Once by Spurs, once by Golden State. He got 5 games by Golden State. Then I need to bring up the epic meltdown, the epic fail in the first go around with Miami. And then he got blown off the floor by a record margin in 2014 by the Spurs. And then we go back to the first Golden State series and he's up 2-1. And I'm thinking this is going to be his, so to speak, crowning achievement. He's going to remember game 4? Game 4 is in his house. He's up 2-1. Now he had lost Kevin Love, he lost Kyrie, but it didn't seem to matter. Crowning achievement. And what happened from that point on? He didn't happen.
If you don't mind me asking,
he lost 3 straight games.
Just for me, for the 2-3 million people that's watching at home.
Yeah.
If Michael,
5-6 million?
Yeah.
Okay.
If Michael Jordan had lost Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman in that last three-peat, are they beating Utah?
With that guy?
Yeah.
I would never bet against that
I
guy.
would have.
Well, I wouldn't.
Stop it, Skip. You know now. Come on now. The second and third best player.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. If Steph and Clay, for some unforeseen reason, get abducted by aliens, Kevin Durant gonna beat the Warriors by himself, up 2-1.
Right now, I wouldn't put anything past that 7-foot monster, unstoppable.
I would bet everything I own and everything that I'm going to own in the next several years that up 2-0. If Steph and Clay does not play the remaining of the series, Kevin Durant's not winning.
I think he'd still have a good shot. I do.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
You're not winning without your second and third best player, Skip. It's not happening. You know that. I know that.
I don't know
You
that.
do know it.
Yeah, he's playing at a supremely high. We haven't seen this very often. We saw it one time before, and it was that guy up in Chicago. That's the only time I've seen this before, where it's just strict. It's unstoppable.
You just saw it last year.
From
LeBron.
they got swept.
Hold on. So I'm gonna be like Russell. If you want to take 2 or 3 games out of man's career, out of the man's playoff, so be it. Have at it.
Okay, well, those are the 4 games.
No. So we gonna just
couldn't even win 1 game.
So we just gonna disregard what he did in Indiana. We're gonna disregard what he did against Boston.
He had one great stretch in his career, and it was the first 3 games against Golden State the first time around with no Kevin Love and no Kyrie.
Skip.
That was extraordinary. It didn't last. And everybody told me he ran out of gas. I said he's Iron Man.
What about the Game 7 triple-double? He scored 11 in the fourth. You do realize that. We talk about he scored 11 points in the fourth quarter. And he had a triple-double.
Are you talking about?
The one that beat Golden State came from 3-1 down.
That game.
Yeah, that game. Really?
Well, Kyrie hit the shot. It's a tie game. He hits a 3 with 45 seconds left. Game over.
Does the shot matter if Andre Iguodala makes that dunk? Does it matter? Does the shot matter?
J.R. Smith cut him off. Well, he just did.
Game 7 against your Spurs.
Yeah.
You know what he did in the NBA
was
Finals.
Great. My team couldn't get up off the mat.
Why?
Because Ray Allen shot him in the heart, shot me in the heart, and I still haven't recovered.
So J.R. Smith hitting LeBron over the head with a crowbar, that didn't psychologically damage him. But Ray Allen's shot damaged your Spurs. Y'all had a whole new game to come back. Y'all had a day in between. My guy had to pick himself off. He was dazed, groggy, like, what happened? when you saw JR squinting like he got hit now like James Harden. You saw him looking like.
LeBron James had the ball at the top of the key against Steph Curry, and all he had to do is take one dribble to his left and go up and shoot it and win the game, and we'd be having a different conversation.
We'd have had a different conversation if J.R. Smith, who got the rebound and put the ball back in the basket. We'd have had a different conversation.
Don't throw it to George Hill. Just don't.
Get up, Skip.
Come on.
I'll ask you a question.
Stop it.
In 4 seconds, did J.R. Smith have the ball 3 feet from the basket? A simple no or a simple yes?
We could talk about this one all day.
I guess that.
Shake your head.
No mercy.
We'll stay talking about LeBron, though, and the Lakers. Here is the latest with that team. It appears that the coaching search is coming down to Ty Lue and Monty Williams. But Woj reports the people involved with the decision-making are split on which coach to go with. Woj also reported that LeBron's preference is former Cavs coach Ty Lue, but he's not getting involved. And Mark Stein of the New York Times tweeted, surely the Lakers understand James would be at his happiest and most engaged playing for Ty Lue. So Shannon, how will this play out?
I believe Ty Lue will get the job, but Skip, I don't know who the hell is making this decision. Is it going to be Jeannie? Is it going to be Linda Rambis? Is it going to be Rob Pelinka? Skip, I have no idea. Skip, what's puzzling to me is that the Lakers are treating this like Ty Lue is LeBron's homeboy, that he's unqualified for the job. He did go to 3 NBA finals as a head coach. He did win one. Now, I know somebody that's in the Lakers organization that happens to be on a roll because she's somebody's best friend, but that's none of my business, Jenny. I don't even know why I brought that up. I'm sorry. Skip.
You sure?
I give you, the Lakers should know better than anybody, Skip. If you remember, in 2004, after the Lakers lost to the Pistons, Phil Jackson stepped down or got forced out by Dr. Buss.
Yeah.
2005, they had someone else on the bench. If you don't mind me asking, tell the people at home, who came back in 2006? And why in the hell did they rehire Phil Jackson, Skip? Because Kobe wanted him. Because he worked well with Kobe. That's normally how it works in a situation like this.
That's a good
Your
point.
best player has substantial input in who the head coach is going to be.
Yep.
But now all of a sudden, I don't want the younger players to think that for LeBron to become emboldened.
Yep.
You didn't give a damn about him, Kobe becoming emboldened when you hired Phil Jackson.
Yep.
And that was the only reason that you rehired him. Because he was the guy that worked really well with Kobe.
Yep.
Kobe got him, he got Kobe. Everybody else fit in where you get in.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden, well, you know how it's gonna look. Well, how it looked that you hired Kobe's agent. How does that look? So now all of a sudden you care about looks, you care about aesthetics. You better care about these W's. And hire Ty Lue because he's more than qualified. He's been an NBA Finals winning head coach. He's gone to 3. He served up on the dock, Skip, with in Boston.
Yeah.
And he played 1 year, came to the Clippers. So they make it seem like Ty Lue. No, Ty Lue's a damn good coach. I'm not saying he's Greg Popovich, but I believe
he's good. He is
Very
good.
qualified.
I believe of all the guys that you could possibly hire for this position,
Totally agree.
I believe he's the best.
He's the right move. He's the only move. He's the move that should have been made 3 weeks ago. And it's still teetering on Monty Williams. And Monty Williams is a great guy. He's on Philly's bench right now. But as a head coach, just for the record, no disrespect, but as a head coach, Monty Williams in the NBA is 48 games under 500. And in the playoffs, he went 2-8 in 2 appearances. So he won 1 game each time. Okay, so
what am I
how do you
missing?
sell that? How do you, over what Ty Lue has done for LeBron? Obviously, LeBron has earned the right to have Ty Lue, and it still teeters on Monty Williams because the organization doesn't want to concede control to LeBron James. And there are some in the organization, clearly, who are offended that LeBron didn't live up to his billing or his, what is it, $36 million or whatever he makes a year.
Sure.
That he burned the bridge to his young teammates, so they thought, through his agent to try to get Anthony Davis. And the problem with this whole thing is, I've never seen anything like this. In all my years of covering the NBA, there's never been such a bizarre situation. The Lakers have become like one big wacky Hollywood sitcom in danger of being canceled because it should be canceled, right?
Great
Because
reality show.
seriously, what if I tried to pitch you on, it's the daughter of the former beloved owner who has now brought her best friend into the ranks as her shadow owner, and she ousted all of her brothers by going to court. She actually ousted all of them from the organization, but now she's brought all of them back in the fold because they all go on the private plane to actually interview Monty Williams. All the brothers go along with Jeannie, but she ousted them all in court. And the GM is the former agent of Kobe Bryant, who was actually LeBron's arch rival. I know they never met in the finals,
Right.
but again, there's no real love lost between those two. And now LeBron has to live with the fact that Rob Pelinka, Kobe's guy, is running LeBron's organization.
And he has a big play and is controlling my future.
Yeah.
Because whether or not we get X, Y, or Z, Rob Pelinka is going to play a big role in that.
Yeah. And so now Linda Rambis is the wife of a guy, Kurt Rambis, who was nothing but a hockey goon for the Showtime Lakers. Am I right?
Yeah,
he was a hockey
He's an
goon.
enforcer.
Right? He was
Yeah.
just that guy. There's nothing wrong with hockey
That's
goons,
fine.
but you got to have that guy.
You gotta have one.
But that was his reputation as a player, and now it looks like he's been elevated into the president's seat in place of the most beloved Laker ever, Magic Johnson, who appears to have been sort of pushed out the back door by some backbiting emails, some
Yeah.
backstabbing emails,
Sure.
right?
Yes.
Right? And yet, Magic needs Jeannie, and Jeannie needs Magic PR-wise because Magic wants to be still the ambassador for the Lakers.
Right.
So last night, they staged, we're going to dinner, and we're
Yep.
both going to post the pictures on Twitter to show everybody we still love each other. Jeannie is my sister,
Such
right?
a good PR move.
You know what? Yo, I don't know how you do it, but if I get somebody been talking smack about me,
Yeah.
we might be cool,
We're not doing that.
but we
You're not-
cool at a distance. I'm over here,
Correct.
you over there.
Correct.
We cool. I ain't got no problem with you.
Correct.
But we ain't linking up. For a flick.
Do you think that could be an old photo? Is there any chance that could be just something they
Fair
used
point.
Fair.
from the past?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm-
I couldn't figure out
I'm
where they
gonna go-
were eating. I couldn't find the restaurant.
Hey, you know what? If that is an old picture, I'm gonna go on Jeannie's side and scratch my face out. You talked about me. I don't want no part of you.
Okay,
You don't
what
want
did
nothing.
Jeannie do when Luke was under fire mid-season or whenever it was? She posted a picture of Luke and I are at dinner together
Yes. Yeah.
with Rob Pelinka, right?
And the whole time, and that's why Skip, you're like, oh, Magic wanted to fire Luke. Jeannie said no. And lo and behold, she sending out emails, her and Rob
Yeah.
Pelinka sending emails behind Magic back.
Yeah.
Like, he sucked as the president.
Okay.
It's a great show, though. You
It's a great
described
show.
plot that-
And by the way, there's one overarching figure in this show that you never see or hear from. You hear about, they're talking about him, but it's LeBron
But that's
James,
right.
who has been completely quiet through all this
We ain't
mess.
doing no talking.
The circus is just in high gear, but we don't hear peep from 23. We don't know what he thinks because he doesn't want to look like he's controlling or trying to maneuver the franchise
Correct.
for himself, correct?
And you know what, Skip? This might be a power play. Now, look, I know you're LeBron James, but I own this franchise. And I'm not going to let the employee tell me
That's
what I
correct.
should do. So this could be a power play, and she just might go, but see, you cut your nose off to spite your face.
Yeah.
And like you said,
I agree, you do.
This has nothing to do with Monty Williams. This has everything to do with Ty Lue and LeBron James' relationship and Ty Lue being more than qualified.
Yeah.
That's not to say Monty Williams is not qualified.
He's qualified.
But you're talking about someone that has a previous working relationship that went great. It didn't always, it didn't end, 3 times. Well, they went 3, they won 1, so it was 1 and 2. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
There are a lot of coaches that coach 20, 30 years and never get an opportunity to go to NBA Finals, let alone 3 and win 1. I don't know what the holdup is. I really don't.
Seems like a win-win.
They're about to show you their true colors. You're about to see what Jeannie is really made of. Does she not want to cede control to LeBron? Is she going to hire Monty Williams, who, by the way, has the Phoenix job just by all reports, is just sitting right
all he
there.
doing is gassing up, trying to get more money.
Okay, all right. But the point is, if they go Monty Williams, it's going to be a big bad signal to your man.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're going to send him another big bad signal.
We're
in
out?
The form of an email. Get me up out of town.
any emails.
We're going to send you a big bad email.
No more
That would-
emailing.
Okay, how about
that would be funny.
Well,
Actually.
guess what? We got a Brentwood match, and we'll send you a smoke signal.
Yeah.
Trade me.
Dear Jeannie,
dangerous.
Yeah.
trade me.
Yeah, exactly.
See ya.
Yeah. We going to bounce. Skip, we don't want to do we don't want
Well,
to
now,
do that.
Rick Bucher reported midseason she briefly considered bouncing him
Yeah, I know.
after all the Anthony Davis debacle.
We seem to be pervasive.
Yeah.
Got but doing my best, Bill Barr. We haven't decided what we're gonna do moving forward, Skip Bayless. But we'll get back to you. But I can just give you a little hint. We won't be pleased.
Really?
No.
You can have a cigar and a little wine up on the rooftop with LeBron
We might go
this
down and
weekend.
sit out and have a little powwow. Me, Bron, Randy, Rich,
Mav.
Mav. Yeah, we might have a little Savannah. We might have us a little powwow.
Savannah's going to sit in.
Yeah, she sit in.
All right.
Because she plays a big role in this, because Mama got to go.
How about Braun Jr.?
No, Bron can't. No,
I
no
was
they're
actually
grown up.
thinking maybe Tom Brady could come to the
Tom
Oh,
Brady
that's a
can't come.
good one.
right?
No.
He's here
He
in
could-
LA.
You could get his 2 cents.
No, we don't want his 2 cents. They're worth a penny. His 2
Oh, I can't wait for this next discussion. Tom Brady had some very interesting things to say
Did he?
on Jimmy Kimmel's show last night. We will show you next.
I'm sleeping.
No mercy.
Do you ever get like, are you ever tired of this? Do you ever feel like, okay, I've had enough?
Not to this point. You know, I feel like, to be at the top or to give your team a chance to win every season, you have to, put a lot into it. And I try to, bring my best every day. I try to be the best, teammate, leader, and also physically to stay prepared because No one wants someone that, is taking up space.
How much hunger do you have for another championship ring? Because you have 6, right?
I know. It's been pretty amazing.
Yeah.
An incredible run. I'm so grateful to be in the same place with so many, incredible teammates over the years. It's such a, it's such a team effort.
But isn't 6 like even one too many? I mean, it's, and it doesn't.
I played a long time, so 6 is 6. I mean, I could never imagine in my wildest dreams having achieved that. But I think as a competitor, you get to line up and you get to go after it again. And
you just want to win every single time.
Damn it, I want to win.
It's greedy.
What's wrong with winning?
Oh, that was Tom Brady with Jimmy Kimmel last night here in LA. So Shannon, you look kind of serious over there. What do you make of those comments? Did you enjoy the interview?
I did enjoy the interview, but Tom Brady didn't tell me anything that I didn't already know. Now, if Tom Brady told me he sold bean pies as a truck stop as a young boy, that I didn't know. But having played the game of football, if you played this game a long time, Skip, nobody really retires because they stop loving the game. They stop loving to prepare for the game.
That's what you always say.
They stop loving the auxiliary things, the film study. You see, he says, I still love preparing. I still love training. He loves all of that. And people stop loving that. A lot of guys will still, if they just let me come play on Sunday, I'm good. But it's the other things that comes along with that. And for him to say after 20 years, he's got money, he's made a boatload of money. He's won 6 Super Bowls. He's been an MVP. He's gone to Pro Bowl. He's been All-Pro. It's something greater than the game itself. He loves preparing for the game. The game is easy to him. It's the preparation that's hard, and that's what he loves about it. So, and so for me, I still stick in the 20 because I don't think he's going to ever stop loving the game. Something's going to force him out. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope he doesn't take that big shot, and then I want Tom Brady to walk off on his own free will.
I'm knocking on wood.
I don't want him. I'm knocking on wood
Me
with
too.
you.
Thank you.
I don't want Tom Brady to take a hit and like he hurts a shoulder or something like that, and then he doesn't get to walk out on his own. Because I believe Tom Brady should be able to walk away from the game after what he's done for the game and how great he's been in the game. Tom Brady should be able to go out on his own terms. And we didn't see the clip, but Jimmy asked, like, does he make enough? He should be the highest paid. He's like, I'm fine. But, my wife is well compensated.
Does
She makes a lot of money.
It was funny. It was good.
Well, it's estimated that his wife is worth $400 million. Tom Brady's estimated worth is $180 million. Now, I don't know every athlete in the world, but it's hard pressed for me to believe that there's an athlete in the world where their wife out-earns them. Now, that could be Skip. Like I said, I don't know all the Cristiano Ronaldo. He might have somebody, or there might be something we don't know about, Skip. But for the most part, the athlete, be it male or female, is the breadwinner. Got no problem with that, but that's normally how it goes. $400 million? That's why Tom Brady can play for $10 million or $13 million a year like it ain't nothing. But not me. I want all my money because I'm trying to catch her. She got $400 million. I need to get $400.
Russell Wilson, Sierra, she's not that high.
Nah.
Kate Upton,
Nah.
Probably not that high. I mean, not those numbers are.
Danica, I know they're not married, but Danica and A-Rod.
I don't think,
She's
no,
gonna be up there.
A-Rod got making 35, 40
She's
new.
got a lot of endorsements.
She got a lot.
They're not married.
Not like this.
No, not just Skip, not
Different
like
numbers.
this.
I must admit, I am shocked by your answer because I thought you were going to leap on his answer, which is not yet.
Right.
I'm not tired of it all yet. So I thought you would be prepared to dance on his grave today, saying that's a sign to me that it's just going to be one more year because you have amended your prediction a couple of times here. You keep pushing it back one more year, one more
20.
year. So 20 is this year.
20 is
You
this
say this is end of story.
Benito.
So he's not announced that. There's no final tour over America from Tom Brady, right?
Nah.
He's going to play for, as he keeps saying, 3 more years. And what struck me about this, he just looks so fresh.
Exactly.
He looks so youthful. He has youthful energy about him.
does.
And he's a stud now. He looked good, right? Am I right?
He looked great.
Am I right, Shannon Sharpe?
did.
No,
Yes,
no,
I
no.
am
He
right.
looked like Tom Brady.
He looked
Yeah, I
incredible.
want to win. Damn it, I want to win.
I wish I was in the audience for that one.
Oh, stop
Trying
it.
to
yeah.
get tickets.
Okay.
For what?
There we go.
Just to be in the audience for Kimmel. I love that.
And I
love
want to
going
point
to
out
shows.
what a difference a year makes here in Los Angeles. Because just about 1 year ago, right now,
The Jim Gray interview?
and it was the Milken conference that he spoke at. I'm sure he got a nice little check to speak there, but he did a Q&A with Jim Gray. And remember, it was off the debacle, the nightmare that was the loss to Philly in the Super Bowl,
Correct.
the Malcolm Butler game. And Jim Gray asked Tom Brady, do you feel appreciated by the organization? It's just only 1 year ago. And he said, I plead the fifth. And again, he said, do you still love what you're doing? He said, I have my moments. Well, clearly he was disenchanted with Bill Belichick.
Oh, and that was the trade too. Jimmy Garoppolo had left, and they got right. So that also, he put his foot down in that situation.
Okay.
Skip, look, most guys that play the game and you play for an extended period of time, it's the preparation. It's a lot of redundancy. And he's heard the same verbiage for 20 years. The same verbiage. Because you remember a lot of guys say, it's great, change is good, it's freshening things up. You have to hear new ideas, you have to prepare all over again. Well, Tom Brady is hearing the same verbiage for 20 years. But he's out here throwing, he's coming for one day, and he finds a football field to go throw to receivers.
Yep.
So that lets you know how much he loves it.
And he had an interesting comment to Jimmy Kimmel in which he said, I'm just going to paraphrase it, I have to work out to get to go on vacation. I have to feel like I'm close to being ready to play so that I can actually let go and go on vacation. You know that feeling?
I do. No, I don't know that feeling because I can never let go. I've never went on vacation.
No, but I mean, you have to keep working out until you
yes,
get to the point
yes.
where, okay, I'm going to go on vacation because I'm close to being ready to go to training camp right now, but I'll let myself go on vacation. I'm going to reward myself with this week or two or whatever.
Well, for me, Skip, I never went on vacation, but
You never went on vacation.
went on
I don't
vacation.
believe that.
I never went on vacation, Skip.
You never went?
When you were playing?
When I was playing.
Well, you're always complaining that we don't take enough vacation, right?
Things have
Well, I don't
changed.
think we didn't take enough, but for me, Skip, and that was the thing. No, I didn't because, okay, I shoot to Vegas for, 3 days, for 2 days. 2 days. Get there Friday night, party Saturday night, up Sunday morning. Now I do. I'm about like a scout on a new route on that one, Skip. No, but Skip, for me, Skip, I love training, and I knew I took someone's job. I knew there was some college kid, there was some high school kid that wanted my job.
Okay,
so,
well, you have that in common with the 6th-round pick,
yes,
Tom Brady.
Yes, yes. I still can't let go. I'm trying to. I still haven't gone on vacation. I'm going to go.
You got to go.
Oh, no.
We got one in July. It's a long way from now. But
Where we going? Where you going?
I don't know yet.
I'm going to go somewhere. Jeez, I have no problem going on vacation.
I'm going to go
just for the
somewhere too,
record.
Skip. You going on vacation?
Jenny gets to go on a long vacation to Paris.
Paris, yeah.
Right?
We
World Cup.
Must be nice.
So, the last point I want to make about Tom Brady, the clutchest athlete in the history of sports.
Oh, you told
Did you
Michael?
see that throw he made?
That was 150 takes?
Huh?
150 takes?
You know what? I'm pretty sure that was the first and
No, I'm
only
pretty sure
take.
no. I'm pretty sure
Can
no.
we see this?
I'm
one more
pretty sure
time?
no.
We got to see this one more time. Look at this. How sweet is that? That's not that's not an easy throw. Again, how could it be 100 takes?
So
because
good.
you'd keep chipping the window or breaking a little part of the window. You wouldn't get the ball right through the heart of the window, right? You hit the bullseye with one throw. And did you see this? He didn't even take his jacket off.
Yeah.
And you know how restrictive a jacket is? It's hard to throw in a jacket.
You see now here I was giving Tom Brady praise, praise on him.
Give him
but
some
then,
more.
No, and then you go. Did you see this?
Well, was
Did you
it
see
not sweet
no.
on the money?
The perception that they gave you is that this was a long ways away.
It was.
It's
It's a
right
long
there.
throw. It's from the top of the
Looks far to
driveway.
me.
You know how TV works, Jenny, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, but he's standing in the street.
Objects are closer than they
Nope,
appear.
not this one.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Rear view.
Oh, I think that was easy. One shot, just call it a day, man.
You believe that was one shot?
How about Matt Damon coming out in
He's
his?
the best.
He's wearing a "We Bought a Zoo" T-shirt.
Yeah.
Not one of his more memorable movies, but
Self-promotion.
No.
yeah, I think it was an inside joke.
Well, they have a thing going back and forth. He and
They
Kimmel.
do.
I love it.
But listen, Matt Damon, he's Jason Bourne.
Yes.
He's standing next to Tom Brady, he looks like he's half his size,
Yeah.
right? Seriously.
Those guys are small, Skip.
Yeah,
But look, I'm not taking anything away from Tom. Tom has been historically great, and his will, the desire to prepare, to continue to do his craft. Like I said, the football aspect, getting on the field is easy. 85,000 fans will get your adrenaline going like nothing else. But you ain't got 85,000 fans with you watching tape. You ain't got 85,000 fans when you got to run those wind sprints and throw the receivers. So that's what's the most impressive thing
I know,
to me.
but when we watch Tom versus Time, it looks like he's more on fire watching tape than he is even playing football.
And Skip,
He seems obsessed with it.
You know what, Skip? I love training. I love the game. But what overrode all of those was meetings and watching tape.
Okay.
Once we got past if Mike would have told me, said, Shannon, you ain't even got to come to meetings. Once we done with practice, you can go home or you can get your workout in. Skip, you know what? I probably would have said, CBS, nah, I think I'm going to stay. But those meetings, I couldn't do it.
Okay.
I couldn't hear two-jet plane drive again.
Okay.
I couldn't hear
Well,
Pick
you
the
make
Bingo
it through our 4 a.m. meeting every day. I don't know how you
I
do it.
Yeah, let me see.
I mean, sometimes you doze off a little bit, but
No, I get a good night. I get a good night's sleep, Skip.
you? Okay.
Yeah, good night's sleep.
okay.
You
I
guys
didn't sleep well last night.
Prepare harder than anyone I've ever been around, truly.
I'd be
I
busting
have
Skip
to
up.
say.
Because here's the thing. There's nothing greater than having great preparation and to see it all come to fruition.
Yeah.
Because I know when I put that work in during the day, I already know how it's going to pay off tomorrow for me. I know how it's going to pay off for me, Skip Bayless. I don't know about you.
You
I know I'm
started really well there, and then you made it
bust
about
him
yourself.
up. I already know.
Made
They
it
already
about
know.
himself.
They be telling me, they say, you got him again, I said, yeah, I did. They said, yeah.
The-
I was
the-
at Whole Foods.
The one guy on Twitter.
No.
Yeah.
Whole Foods.
Oh, food?
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
fans there? Oh, that's good to know.
I was, as a matter of fact, like a couple of weeks ago, Skip, I was in Target. And this,
We went from Whole Foods to
yeah,
Target.
no.
Okay.
And this Asian lady, she looked at me. I passed her with the buggy. She turns around and come back. Skip. Her daughter comes up and say, I'm sorry. So I said, no problem. She knew me. She like, that's him, that's Skip. Because I be calling your name. I like, oh. So I took a picture with her. Oh. He's like, you take a picture with me?
You stooped to take a picture with someone?
See, there you go, Skip. I will always, sometimes. Now, if I'm on the phone, I'll be eating and on the phone. So, I mean, that's a double. So, if you're eating and on the phone.
How are you able to?
So, and then people still come, can I take a picture with you?
I'm like, yeah, why don't you join me right
Okay.
now? You
The
guys
answer
handle it
is
well.
yes.
Yeah,
That's what
you
it
guys
is? That's
handle it
what I'm
well.
supposed to say?
I've seen you guys are great with all of
Is that what I'm
fans.
supposed to say, Skip?
You
I
better
say, no.
No, you guys are always good.
Yeah.
It goes a long way.
I'm better than Skip. Skip, sometimes.
Oh,
Skip big
please.
time. Skip be big time.
These two argue about everything. Next up, are the Sixers now in control against the Raptors? Chris Broussard answers that question next.
No mercy.
Back to the NBA we go. The Sixers and Raptors came into Game 3 tied 1-1, but last night was all about Philly. Joel Embiid went off last night with 33 points, 10 rebounds, 5 blocks. He even put an exclamation point on the game with a windmill dunk in the fourth quarter. After the game, Coach Brett Brown said, quote, "We can talk about a windmill dunk, but I go to defense. He is our crown jewel defensively." The Sixers blew out Toronto to take a 2-1 series lead with Game 4 Sunday in Philly. We are joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Good to have you with us.
Great to be here.
Chris,
As always.
are the Sixers now in control of this one?
They're definitely in control. I mean, there's no question. You're up 2-1 with home court advantage, and you've won 2 in a row. In the playoffs, when you win 2 games in a row, that's huge because the adjustments you made to win Game 2, Toronto had a chance to adjust and do something differently, and they didn't, obviously. So now you are firmly in control. That said, I picked Toronto. I'm going to stick with them. I'm not saying this thing is over. You know how it is in the playoffs. Whichever team won the last game, you feel like, oh, they got
That's
control
it.
of the series.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking with Toronto, but they have to make some huge changes. And let me give Philadelphia credit. My questions about Philadelphia heading into the playoffs, not just this series, but the playoffs, was I didn't think Embiid and Simmons were mature enough. And I had questions about Brett Brown's coaching. I think Embiid is showing great maturity. I love the antics. I'm not going to kill him for the antics. Maturity and mental toughness by playing through this injury. It doesn't even look yesterday like he's injured. So I think he's showing great growth and toughness in playing through the injury. And I think Brett Brown's made some really nice adjustments. I think he's out coaching Nick Nurse. Wow. He put Tobias Harris on Marc Gasol, and they're not exploiting that. He's found a way to kind of hide Ben Simmons in the half court, and shame on Nick Nurse for not. Like, if they get Boston further down the line, Brad Stevens will find a way to make that a factor. Nick Nurse has not done it yet. And then he's running a lot of two-man game with Jimmy Butler and Embiid. And Butler, their problems, and I think you'll even agree with this, Skip, a lot of their problems were down the stretch, how they execute down the stretch. Butler is the closer, and he's a great closer, and so he answers a lot of those problems. Right. Yeah. He answers a lot of those problems. So that said, I do think, again, Toronto still can win this series, but Kawhi needs some help. And Kyle Lowry, we've heard about playoff Rondo and playoff Kyrie. There's a playoff Lowry, and it ain't good.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I was going to say.
And I love Kyle Lowry as a player, a tough, hard-nosed, guy that's made something out of himself. But he just doesn't, year after year, last year was okay, but year after year, he doesn't get it done in the playoffs. And that's killing them. And they're making it easy. You know what I'm about to say.
What I just said is
they making it real easy for Kawhi Leonard to walk out the door. They're making it, and to be honest, this is where the Lakers screwed up. They could be making it easy for Masai Ujiri to walk out the door, even though I know he loves Toronto. And to this point, the Lakers seem to be all in on Kurt and Linda Rambis. But if they went hard after Masai, hard, like they should, I think they could get him and maybe Kawhi too.
Told you.
So did Kyle Lowry play for the Raptors when you picked them?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
You too.
You see that
when
shame?
you switched your pick, was Kyle Lowry a Raptor?
I'm going to be honest with you. My pick in the Raptors, and I did believe in the Raptors, but a lot of it was the other team's warts. It was Philly's immaturity. Can they execute?
I got
it was Milwaukee's youth and lack of experience, and I just thought Boston was out of sorts.
They were?
But here's the thing. Shame on me. It's my fault. Because I have seen Kyle Lowry play like this in the last 4 playoffs. So that's shame on me. I fault me for doing that. I knew better.
So it's over.
No.
Toronto,
but like Dr. Miles Angelou used to say, when you didn't know better, you couldn't do better. But you know better, you do better. And I know better, and I still didn't do better. But it's not over. So stop. Game 4, case of due. Straight.
You're doing it?
Yep.
What research? Did Steve Owens talk to you?
No, because
You're Sean McVay?
No, because here's the look. We saw game 1, both teams on their home court, blowouts on both ends.
Yep.
Philly blew them out last night. Toronto blew them out. So now, can Toronto make the kind of adjustments that Philly made in game 2 to steal home court from them? I believe they can. Now, Serge Ibaka has almost become unplayable. Van Vliet has become unplayable. He's been terrible.
And he's been a good bench player for them, you know?
Well, are you just going to play with 3 guys now?
Who's left? They got 2 guys.
Can we get something from Marc Gasol? Can we get more than 7 points? Because if that's all he's going to give you, you could have kept Valanciunas. But I believe old Kawhi. I trust in Kawhi.
So
you don't run him off.
I want to get this on the record.
Yep.
We have a case of due bet on Game 4 on Sunday, correct?
Yep.
And there are no points exchanged here because Toronto is actually a 1.5 point favorite in this game. So I don't even need the points. I'm just taking the home team straight up.
I bet you
so
don't
I'm actually being charitable to you. I want that for the record.
Is that what you
that I deserve to have a 1.5, says Las Vegas. I don't need it.
Doesn't want it.
I'm going to take Joel Embiid's team.
I don't want it now.
What?
You seem too confident. I don't like the way if you was waffling a little bit, you talking about you didn't want the points because you always want points.
This is becoming too much.
Nope.
You guys just
I'm
gotta
with
make
you.
these
Look,
bets.
Toronto, I think, is going to win game 4. They have to.
You want some of this too?
We can do a case of dew. I don't really drink dew, but
Okay.
dew for you and
Ginger ale. Get ginger ale.
So for the
Propel
record
for me.
also, I've got to put in perspective what really happened last night.
Sure.
Because we know all about Joel Embiid, and we know about Jimmy Butler, and we know about all that. Number 2 did not happen last night when he needed to happen. This is why I don't trust him. This is why I said good riddance. This is why I don't miss him. This is why I'll never get over the fact that he quit on the San Antonio Spurs. He's got quit in him, and I'm not saying he quit last night, but he came up very small. He's about 6 feet, 7 inches tall. He played about 5'7" in the fourth quarter because I'm going to remind everybody, if you carefully watch what happened, he got on an all-time roll. I've never seen him shoot the ball better than he's been shooting it in this series or in these playoffs. He was cooking in the third quarter because he cooked for 6 out of 6 shots. They went on a 25-14 run, and early in the fourth, they cut it to 7 points. And the between quarters interview featuring Brett Brown, He looked haunted, tortured. He looked like he had seen a ghost. He looked shell-shocked. And he basically said, we completely lost our defensive focus in the third quarter. And I don't know if it's what button he pushed in the sideline huddle, maybe Jimmy Butler, who is now the leader of this team as the veteran. I don't. Somebody said something that flipped the switch back on for Philadelphia because they proceeded early in the fourth to go on a 21-2 run. So that guy, number 2 in Toronto, had scored 14 of their 25 in that run. Guess how many he scored as they lost 21-2 over the next 6 minutes? He scored 0. He scored 0.
Exactly.
He didn't even score the 2. He took 2 shots and missed both. He wound up getting 2 garbage time free throws, and that was his total output for the fourth quarter last night. He scored 2 free throws and no baskets. That's the guy that you guys are betting on. That guy, really?
But Skip, he had 33 points, and I get it. Okay, it's when you score the points. But 33 points, he got 7 from Marc Gasol, 7 from Kyle Lowry, 2 for 10 shooting from Lowry. He wasn't the problem.
He was when it counted.
And
When it counted, you need to continue to rise and shine.
But even if he's at his best, let's say both teams are playing at their best. Philly has a greater starting 5. Like talent-wise, Philly's talent is better. They don't have the depth.
The truth is,
but
it's
the
not
starting
even
5.
close with the starting 5.
Right, in favor of Philly, right?
I mean, you can make a case this starting 5 is it's getting
Second
up there
to
with Golden State.
State, yeah.
It's
Second
like
to Golden
rivaling
State.
Golden
Right.
State.
Yeah.
So
When
I'm just saying
Embiid is right, when his knees aren't
Right.
creaky and aching,
Yeah.
Listen, is there a better big man than that? I mean,
No.
Come on.
Talent-wise, that's one point, though. I'm not going to put it all on Kawhi when the other team just has a lot more talent, and his guys aren't showing up even playing to their best of their ability.
Because this is what we love so much about Toronto, is that when Kawhi was out, they were still winning the games. What did they go, 15-5 without Kawhi in those 20 games?
They were better without him.
Yeah, so we're looking like, okay. Well, that will serve you well come playoff time because all the games that Kawhi missed wasn't at home. He missed some road games. Remember they went to the Lakers and thumped them, had them down by like 30 points at the beginning of the second quarter.
Wait, I thought he the North. No?
The little
He
baby,
not-
he's still,
he not
Chris,
North.
he's still a little
It's
baby down the
we.
floor.
They are. They're
He.
showing you.
He.
I don't know what it is.
The baby
because
down-
a lot of the guys are new. Gasol's new. You know, Danny Green, I'm not going to fault. He had 13. That's what you expect from Danny Green. But these aren't all the same guys from last year. A lot of them are.
Van Fleet averaged 11 points per game in the regular season. He's averaging 1.4 now. How you going to win with that, Skip? Serge, what has happened to Serge Ibaka?
Okay, you just keep saying that. You took him. You should have
Why'd
known
you-
that.
why'd
They
you
are
thought-
the same old Raptors. You said it.
Why do I love the NBA playoffs? Because they're 7-game series,
Yeah.
and usually game 3, 4, 5, it exposes your heart. It exposes your backbone.
Sure.
Philly is mentally tougher than Toronto as a team, and we saw it on full display in game 2 at Toronto. 94-89. So number 2's team got held to 89 points
He
at home.
scored 35 of them.
Okay, and remember, they got crushed on the boards 52-36 in game 2. Last night was 45-35. So they're just getting physically annihilated on the backboards. That should not be happening. Number 2 had what, 4 rebounds?
Skip, you make it seem
He went David Copperfield.
I just can't focus on number 2, as you call him. I mean, he's not the problem. You're right. They're not hitting threes, 25%, not rebounding, so you're not finesse and you're not tough. These dudes are just soft. Their team. Their organization, something about them. We saw it. We've seen it year after year. It wasn't just LeBron. Now it's freaking Joel Embiid.
It's same time next year.
Yeah,
Right.
this is ridiculous.
They're the same old Raptors.
baby dinosaurs.
Okay.
And that's why, Jeannie, if you're watching, call that guy.
Okay, that's fine.
Call
I'm with
him.
you. That'd be a great move.
Bron, if you're watching, call that guy. We're gonna get
I
on
think
Kawhi.
he's going.
We gonna get
I
on
think he's
Kawhi.
coming to the building.
I think we're going to get on
I think he's
Kawhi.
going to the building, but it might.
We gonna
I
get
think
on
it's going to
Kawhi.
be down the hall a little ways.
He wants none of the pressure to live up to being LeBron's sidekick. None of that pressure. Come
You
on,
think
he
that's
would
it?
wilt in that spotlight.
Isn't it more pressure
You
though
think?
to be the guy? for
Yeah, I
the
think he
Clippers?
wants to be that guy.
I don't know.
with
It's
the
different with
Clippers.
LeBron because then all the focus goes, oh, it's Kevin Love's fault.
Yeah.
Scapegoat.
We
Was he-
see
was
that.
it
Don't you
not-
think there's pressure if Kawhi Leonard goes to the Clippers by himself, no Kevin Durant, no Kyrie or whatever, he's there by himself. I think he's now under pressure Because it's LeBron's over here, you're right next
Remember,
door.
they want two.
Yeah, they want
Clippers.
two. They want
Okay.
him and KD.
All right, Chris, you're going to come back later in the show. Good stuff. Have the Packers been disrespectful
Yes.
to Clay Matthews?
Yes.
We'll
Ought to be
discuss this
ashamed.
story next.
No mercy.
Clay Matthews is a Ram now, but we're finding out that his exit from Green Bay was a bit complicated. Clay spent 10 years in Green Bay, won a Super Bowl there, but NFL Network says before he signed a 2-year deal with the Rams, he went back to the Packers to see if they wanted to make an offer, and they said no thank you. Adding fuel to the fire, the Packers tweeted a couple days ago an image of their first-round pick linebacker Rashawn Gary in Clay's number 52 jersey, saying Rashawn Gary looks good in green and gold. Well, Matthews replied, "The body's not even cold yet. LOL." Shannon, should Clay have a problem with how the Packers have treated him?
No. Clay was a free agent. They chose not to re-sign him. They've moved on. Clay should move on. The body was cold for the last 3 years. He had 16 sacks in 3 seasons, Jen. He played all 16 games last year. He had 3.5 sacks. Where was that then, Clay? I didn't hear anything about this. Did you go to the Packers and say, hey, you know what? I'm playing like stir fry. Would y'all want some of this money back? He didn't do that.
By the way, I like stir fry. But
Now I won't stir fry.
I do.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't do that. Come on, guys. This is a business. And I grant it, it's one-sided. But if you playing bad, and Skip, and I get it, sometimes, it's frustrating because I can play good and you won't renegotiate.
Sure.
I play bad and you release me. I get that. But Skip, he can't be mad. Skip, 84 was near and dear to my heart in Denver. I went to Baltimore. It wasn't a first-round pick, a top 10 pick. It was a third rounder that had 84. And I'm like, wow. I was like, okay. I came back and got it back, though. But Skip, why is he upset? You know Clay Matthews was not the Clay Matthews the last 3 years as he was in his first 5 or 6 years, Skip. He hadn't been to the Pro Bowl since 2015. Hadn't had double-digit sacks since 2014. And guess what the Packers were doing? Study cutting them checks. 5 years, $66 million. So basically 13 and a half, and he started churning them out with 3 sacks, with 5 sacks, with 5 sacks. And then he got the nerve to be upset. This is how it works, Clay. Let's just say you're a car, and you're leaking transmission fluid, you're leaking oil, and half the time you don't crank. It's not a bargain because you don't work half the time. You're not the same guy. Enjoy L.A. You're close to home, and you're with a team that wants you. Don't bellyache about something that didn't.
So I hear everything you just said, and I disagree with everything you just said because this used to be the Green Bay Packers. This was the organization Vince Lombardi built, this cornerstone NFL franchise your brother played for.
Yes.
Known for class and stability. And there's a way to treat the exit of Clay Matthews a little differently because he earned that for you. He wasn't a good player for them. He was a great player, and I realize he's been in decline. But when they went to and won that one and only Super Bowl.
That was 2011, right?
Yeah.
Long time ago. That's what you tell me about Aaron Rodgers. He was on that team.
Okay, but Clay Matthews was the driving force of that defense. He had a career-high 13 and a half sacks that year. He was first-team All-Pro. He made 6 Pro Bowls through that stretch, starting right there. That was his second season. That earns you a little more respect. You should be treated upon your exit with a little more dignity, a little more dignity.
So what would you have them do?
Not tweet that photo. And I'll tell you, it offended me personally because Jenny will probably be able to appreciate this. I'm not the biggest Rashawn Gary fan.
Really?
He is the classic combine workout warrior, the combine star, because if you look at the numbers, he ran the fastest 40 of any defensive lineman at the combine, 4.58. He had the best vertical jump of anyone. He tied for the best broad jump. So he's just going high, 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 high,
Well,
high.
he was D tackle.
Okay.
Because Sweat
Okay.
had the fastest
Okay.
time for a D lineman.
Okay.
He was the D tackle.
But I'm talking about the inside.
Okay,
guy.
okay, yeah.
The down guys, not the stand-up guys.
Right.
Okay. So the point is that Rashawn Gary is the classic underachiever because I watched every Michigan game because we had big cases of due bet on him. and again, I just didn't see him. He's the classic guy you watch the whole game on TV and you just don't even remember that he played in the game. And then he supposedly had a hurt shoulder. And then down the stretch, he just completely disappeared all the way to the Ohio State game. And he's not to be found in that game. And that game made Dwayne Haskins a lot of money because he was able to stand back there and just pick them to pieces.
But Skip,
are you sure about that?
No,
sure about that pick?
Okay, Skip, he got to wear some number. What you want him to give him, 92?
Yeah, but
do you know how many jerseys are?
52, really?
Skip.
Come on, at least have, again, the body isn't even cold yet. And you're putting 52 on that guy. And remember, Clay Matthews was classic high motor at his peak for Green Bay. This guy is classic low motor.
But but what number would you want to give him? 66, 92?
I don't know any number but that one. Just
Why?
pay a little respect.
So what?
He helped you win a Super Bowl. He helped the defense as much as Aaron Rodgers helped the offense in that Super Bowl. Well, that's the truth.
Stop saying that
It's the
because
truth.
that's not true.
Yes, it is.
That's not true.
Yeah.
And Charles Wilson had a lot to do with that too, even though he got hurt in that game. You do know Woody was Defensive Player of the Year. So I'm just saying, Skip, look, Clay, you didn't go to the Packers when you had that 3.5 sacks. Say, you know what? Because you were coming off a season which you had 5 sacks. He didn't go to the Packers and say, you know what, guys? I ain't playing well. Here's $5 million.
Yeah. Okay. I get you that he's in decline, but so is this organization because that cornerstone franchise just had a huge expose done by Bleacher Report on the disintegration of the relationship between Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And all the backstabbing and finger pointing and blame deflecting, it turned into a snake pit, according to the Bleacher Report article, and I do believe it. It rang true to me. And it all sort of revolves around Aaron Rodgers versus management versus head coach. And somehow Clay got the fallout of this because the Lombardi Packers would have handled this a little differently.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah, they would have.
Skip, look here. My brother had a situation. They told my brother that they were going to renegotiate his contract. Now, none of these front office people there now was there then. They told my brother they were going to renegotiate his contract. He had 108. He had 112 catches, back-to-back seasons. We're going to renegotiate. Oh, we're going to renegotiate. And then they told him they wouldn't. So you know what he did? He went, OTAs, he went, did that. He went to training camp, did all that. Night before the game, guess what he did, Skip? Y'all go win without me. So they gave him his money. And in the process of doing that, guess what he did? He took out an insurance policy at Lloyd's of London. Well, we know how it ended. He hurt his neck the last game of the season, never played another down, and they released him before they had all the information. This is what teams do, Skip. This is not new to Clay Matthews. Clay don't take it personal.
Your brother played for Packers when they were kind of dormant as a classic.
Well, they were on the rise then because Mike Holmgren had came in '92. They had just got Brett Favre, so they had just started, and then Brett had that streak of 95, 96, 97, where he was the MVP. 96, they won the Super Bowl. 97, we beat them. So they were just starting to ascend. But Skip, you know how this works. You've been around it long enough. You know teams do this. This is not exclusive to the Packers. I guarantee you, there are players that got 31 other teams that got stories to tell, just like Clay Matthews.
Okay, I got it. But a lot of those players weren't as good as Clay Matthews was for a while for this team.
They even they let Charles Woodson go. Do you remember they let Woody go? Let him go. Just let him go. Wow.
I just think
I know,
that.
but he revived his career there at the end.
But I'm saying, and he went to the Raiders and played great, went to the Pro Bowl there. So maybe Clay changed his scenery, maybe playing for Wade Phillips. That ain't all bad.
No, it's not all bad. He's in a really great
He's
spot.
in a great place.
He's an L.A. kid playing back in
And
LA.
he got Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
But he was a recognizable face.
He was.
Half my family is from Wisconsin. He's the guy you know, other than the quarterbacks. 10 years with an organization, I think you do deserve a little bit more respect than that. I mean, like my grandma knows Clay Matthews. She's, you know what I mean? Like everyone knew who
your grandma
that guy
knows
was.
It? She know he went to the Rams then, huh?
Probably not.
You know what I'm
She's
saying?
watching, I hope,
Yeah.
now, so she knows now. But
You done got soft.
he did a lot for that team.
Cutthroat Skip. Now all of a sudden you over there sipping. See, you not built for this, Skip. I can't let you run no organization because you got.
Just watch what happens with Rashawn Gary. Just mark my words. He will not be anywhere near Clay
But
Matthews.
Skip, that's not because he's in 52. He could have on 42, 72, 82. That's the player. The numbers don't make the player.
The picture offended my eyes. It did. You know?
Well, I'm glad I didn't see it. Maybe I don't. You follow the Packers? How did you see that picture?
What do you mean?
How'd you see it on
It
here?
was everywhere. It was on our night list here for Undisputed.
Stories, he was offended.
Oh, no, I'm just saying I didn't see the picture until they just put it up on the screen.
Oh, well, you should study at night like I do.
And in the morning.
I promise you, if Rashawn Gary does not play well,
Yeah.
it won't be because he wore number 52. I can assure you of that.
I don't know. That just puts a little more heat on him.
So let me get. Maybe he wanted to be Khalil Mack. Maybe he wanted to be the return of the Mack up there.
I don't know. Well, good luck.
You know.
Good luck.
Media. These teams they're trying too much.
I mean,
Just a quick thank you before we
Yep.
move on.
they thanked him. They gave him 5 years, $66 million. Thank you.
Adios.
That's
It's a little bit much.
I sure wish somebody thanked me like that. Thank me like that. Give me 5
Hey,
years, $66
good
million.
to know. Will the Warriors take a commanding 3-0 lead tomorrow night? We will discuss that one next.
No mercy.
So back to the NBA. The Rockets are in a 2-0 hole with Game 3 tomorrow in Houston. Both teams are dealing with injuries to their star players. James Harden practiced yesterday after suffering an eye laceration in Game 2. He said he's going to play tomorrow, but added that the pain is tougher in bright lights. For the Warriors, Steph Curry dislocated the middle finger on his left hand in Game 2, but he was able to practice yesterday and is expected to play tomorrow. We're joined once again by Chris Broussard. Chris, who wins Game 3?
I got the Rockets winning. I got the Rockets. I do think Golden State will go on to win the series, but I think the Rockets win. 3 things. One of the reasons Golden State is up is the play of Andre Iguodala and Draymond Green. They have been great. Iguodala, a 33% three-point shooter, has never been a good three-point shooter, even when he won the MVP in the finals. Now he's shooting 43% from 3 in these first 2 games. Draymond, we know, has been great, shooting almost 70% from the field, 14 points a game. Iggy, 15 points a game. I don't think they're doing that in Houston. So I think those 2 come back to earth. And Clay and Steph really haven't been Clay and Steph. And I think that the Rockets have a good job of limiting those guys, not letting them go off and have huge games. Then I think Clint Capella. We know he hasn't shown up. But part of that, I know a lot of it's on him. I say most of it's on him, but they also aren't getting him his looks. He averaged 11 shots a game in the regular season. We know 16.5 points. 9 shots total in the first 2 games. So get him the ball. We know you're not going to throw it to him on the block. We know that, but they got to get him the ball more in some scoring positions so he can be effective. And then thirdly, I think their focus will be better. I really think that they psyched themselves out going into Game 2, talking so much about the officials. It's coming down from on high. Daryl Morey, Mike D'Antoni. I think the players, they had 9 of their turnovers in the first quarter of Game 2. They were just giving it up on every possession early on. I think it was because they weren't focused on the game. They were focused on the officiating. And I think now, with all that kind of died down, they'll be more focused on the task at hand. So I think Houston does win tonight.
I agree with you. I took the Rockets in Game 3. I think a lot of that, the reason why Steph and Clay haven't really found their rhythm is that when Kevin Durant gets it going, you feed the hot hand. Well, when you feed the hot hand, it's hard for someone else to get a rhythm. That's the fine line that the really great players, they have to walk. Do I take completely over and just go get mine all of a sudden and then they don't have a rhythm? Or do I do enough and also keep them ingratiated into the offense also? I agree with everything you just said. Even though Clint Capella, they're not getting him his shots, a lot of his shots comes on offensive rebounds, put-back dunks. So he needs to start hitting the backboards like the Warriors have been hitting the backboards, 18 offensive rebounds. That's a lot. You're not beating that team. And Game 2, Skip, they make 10 threes in the first half. They're down 9 points because they turned the ball over 13 times. In a game that you hit that many threes in the first half, you're normally up unless you turn the ball over, unless you give up offensive rebounds like they gave them up. You can't win like that. They'll be better at home. That crowd will be energized. James Harden to drop that 40 spot on them. and we're going to be down 2-1 talking smack, and we be ready to go game 4, tie this thing up.
Now that you've said that, it's not going to happen.
I still got the Warriors too, Chris. I just want you to know
I was
that.
about to say, you sounded like you.
No. Just this game 3.
I still got the Rockets. I picked the Rockets to win this series, but I believe with all my heart and soul they were in perfect position to win game 1. Not steal game 1, to go win game 1 at Oracle. It's why Daryl Morey sent them out there early, 48 hours to get acclimated to practice at Oracle. Again, Golden State coming off a tough Friday night at Staples to try to close out the Clippers. Quick turnaround to an afternoon game 1, at Oracle, where they have been hit and miss all year. Steph and Clay allegedly had ankle issues. They combined to make 5 threes in game 1. It's right there for the taking, and they flat out got robbed. And you are correct, or I'm with you on this. They stepped on the floor mentally defeated in game 2. They just didn't look right to me. And I know they shot the ball pretty well, but they didn't handle the ball well. They didn't ever seem to play with any conviction that they could win that game. And again, Golden State led game 2 from wire to wire. So now we get to game 3. And I am rooting for Houston, but if you made me bet on it, I would bet on Golden State, because I'm not going to bet against that 7-foot monster who plays for Golden State named Kevin Durant, who once upon a time played with James Harden. And the biggest question for this game is, James, who are you? What you got? Because now this is it. This is do or die, basically. I know you could come back, but they're not going to come back. They're not coming back.
You're not beating Golden State 4 times.
Not with Kevin Durant on the team. Not going to happen. So you have to win this game. And again, Houston beat them 3 out of 4 times, but the 4th time was at Houston with no Kevin Durant. And what happened to James in that game? Well, you should rise and shine. You should take it over if you're that guy. And he shot 2 for 12 from 3. And as a team, they made 27% of their threes, 11 of 41. Not good enough. If you do that tonight, you're going to lose.
Yes.
And I have never seen Kevin Durant play at a higher level. And where he's been at his all-time greatest is in game 3s. Sure. What did we see? 2017 game 3 finals, 2018 game 3 finals. What do you do in those two? Well, he simply went from 31 to 43 in those 2 games in LeBron's house. What do we see against the Clippers on the road? Game 3 and 4, he went 38, 33. Then game 6, the closeout game, 50. He's just, he is a team wrecker on the road. He just goes in and wrecks your building. He shuts down your crowd. He takes your crowd out of it. And I'm fearing, for Houston's sake, you're about to see that happen again.
If I'm Houston, I don't know why Houston went out there early for game 1. You psyching yourself up. You begging about, we got to do something different. Is that what you normally do? Treat them the same. Do what you normally do.
As you well know, this is everything to Daryl Morey. His whole career has been built on this series.
He's built this roster.
This is it.
This is his resume.
Right.
This is what he wants on his epitaph scale.
And so right now,
I took down the Warriors.
If he's watching like this, right? He's just thinking, because he knows what's about to happen.
Oh, yeah. And look, and this is what's going to happen to Daryl Morey. These Houston Rockets, very good team. Very well, may be the second best team in the league for all we know.
Yeah.
They're going to go down like the Steve Nash Phoenix Suns and the Chris Webber Sacramento Kings.
Okay.
That's what they're going to be. They're going to be this.
Analogy.
We're going to look back 5-10 years from now and say, yeah, they were good, but they just couldn't get over the hump. They never got there. And what's the common denominator of at least 2 of them? Mike D'Antoni's the coach. Now, I personally think D'Antoni, I may be in the minority, I think he's a Hall of Fame coach. I know he obviously hadn't won the championship, even got to the finals, but I think his impact on the game and in the couple places he's been great.
Right.
But he does not, his lack of attention to detail, I hope he makes adjustments, but I don't know. I kind of don't think he will. I think he's good. We do what we do, go out there and play.
What about doing something to stop what they do?
Right, and I don't think, and I think that's becomes a problem in the playoffs when game to game you have to make adjustments.
Whenever I hear Mike D'Antoni, when they play a snippet of his audio from the sideline huddle, it's just the biggest bunch of cliches. like I'm sure everybody's just tuned that completely. Come on, guys, we got to play hard now. You know,
Right.
Come on, guys. Come on,
That's
let's
how
go.
he is
Let's
in
go.
the post-game
Let's go.
pressers, too.
Let's go. Come on, guys.
And James Harden numbers in the playoffs, all of them are down from the regular season.
Right.
Okay.
points.
Who are you, James? Who are you? What you got?
Well, and there's another guy, too. I agree.
Chris
James
Paul-
got to
Chris
step up.
Paul.
Chris Paul's got to step
Yeah, I
up.
thought.
Is he capable? Is he a little bit on the downside of his career?
He's definitely a little on the downside,
Yeah.
but this is probably his best chance. I mean, I guess you'll give him a shot next year, but, at some point he's going to start declining in a big way, and maybe it'll be next year. We know the injuries are always a factor, but he, at one point years ago, he was viewed as one of the most clutch guys in the league.
Yeah.
Now, you tend to think he's too emotional. He gets into it with the refs. He's not going to deliver on those big moments. So I think both of their guards, Harden and Chris, they're under
He's been
microscope
flying
tonight.
under the radar a little bit, though. I feel like we haven't talked about him too much.
Because
in
he's
terms of
become
his
that second
performances.
guy by far. It's been so much on Harden, but
I'm going to refer one last time to our man Chris Haynes' quote, Yahoo, from Kevin Durant 2 days ago, where he said, "This is where this SH, is fun. This is when it's serious, and I'm just embracing it. This is the time of year when what I've been geared for." Well, we're seeing this guy play at.
Hey, Chris, you notice it didn't become fun until 3 years ago. We didn't got to go today. What fun?
I
Okay,
bet it's fun.
Yeah, I
It's
bet.
definitely
Yeah, you noticed that too. Yeah.
But
we
during the
do,
year,
Skip, we do have to factor that in. When we talk about how, and Kevin Durant obviously is great. And
Yes!
that dude's going to be he's going to be a top 10 player of all time. And maybe higher, we'll see. But you can't dismiss the fact that he got so much around him.
So
And
much.
that's a factor when you talk about definitively being the best
Let me
player
ask you a
on the
question. Do you believe
No,
if,
let me ask you a question.
Go ahead. Oh, you want to ask me a
Who
question?
did Draymond call in the parking lot? You love this story.
Yes!
After they blew a 3-1 lead, in
Yes.
part because he got suspended. He called that monster.
Yes.
Please come save us. Am I
Yes.
right?
He was only got to look up. He was not going to
He
be
couldn't
in
call
contract.
LeBron.
Yeah, because that's who he would have called. That's who he would have called.
This guy, every time they get in trouble, they go to this guy.
Let me ask you a question. If they have LeBron instead of Kevin Durant, they lose in the last 2 NBA Finals?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Nah, they win, but they play a lot differently. They play a lot.
Can you imagine the threes that Clay and Steph going to get off?
Wait, how can LeBron play for 2 teams at once?
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. If you were to take LeBron and put him in Golden
No,
State
it'd be unfair.
and put KD on Cleveland, is Cleveland making the NBA Finals last year out of these?
Yep. You better
Stop it.
believe they will.
Stop it.
Yeah.
He's
Unfair.
unstoppable. He'd average
It'd be
40
unfair
a
with
game.
LeBron and Golden State.
40 a game.
it's
Steph and
different.
Clay.
You're saying that he is that much better then. I mean, Skip isn't going to like that. If you're saying it's unfair.
At this point right now, Durant's probably better just because LeBron's age. But LeBron in the past on Golden
Fair
State,
enough.
it'd be crazy.
Who's LeBron?
You know who he is.
He's that guy.
King,
Does he
King
tweet,
James.
watch it?
Strive for greatness.
Really?
Akron's finest.
He's got to quit using the king emoji.
No, why should
You know
he?
what? Durant ought to be using
No,
it.
he shouldn't.
Durant's
you
going to get his
imagine?
chance.
Boom.
He's going to get his chance.
What if KD goes with the king emoji?
When he goes to New York, he'll
crown.
get his chance.
Well, he better tell somebody to come up with a Durantula emoji.
If he starts using
he better come up
crown.
with a spider with his face on it or something. Because the king is. We know who the king is.
Do we?
Yes.
Huh.
James.
Emeritus.
I feel like he's trademarked
You know what?
that a little bit.
You know what, Skip?
Chris, thank you for joining us. Have a good weekend. Is Joel Embiid on his way to being the best big man ever? We'll discuss that next.
What you talking about?
No mercy.
Joel Embiid dominated last night in Game 3, finished with 33 points, 10 rebounds, 5 blocks. During the fourth quarter, Mark Jackson had some very high praise for Embiid. Let's take a listen.
This guy has been dominant, absolutely dominant. It will be a crime if he leaves this game, barring any injury, not being compared to the best big man that's ever played this game. He's got to be in that discussion. It'd be a crime if he leaves the game and that's not the case.
Hold on. Pump the brakes.
No.
No, pump your brakes. Are you no. We're not going to do that to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Will Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing. Pump your brakes.
The evidence is in front of us. Barring injury, this guy has put on display tonight what he can do all year long.
I'm not knocking how great he can be, but don't compare him yet to the all-time greats.
All right, Skip, do you agree with Mark Jackson?
I do, with a caveat. big asterisk.
Yeah.
The obvious issue here
And he
is
said
the injury history
Sure.
and the injury future. And I hate to say this publicly, but I have serious doubts that Joel Embiid can stay healthy enough, long enough, over 10 or 12 years to make the case that he is the all-time greatest big man. But does he have that potential? Have we already seen enough? You better believe we have.
Sure.
We haven't seen a whole lot, but we've seen enough. And by the way, he's only played in 158 of 246 possible games so far. So he's played in 64% of the games. And I'm already completely sold on everything I've seen. And again, we're talking about, could he eclipse, if he stayed healthy, Kareem, Shaq, Russell, Wilt? I don't know. I'll tell you what I give him that none of those guys had. As artful and skilled as Kareem was, as great of touch as he had on the little sky hook, and he was a good free throw shooter at 72%, this guy has better shooting touch than even Kareem had. And when you talk about Shaq and Wilt trying to shoot free throws, or even Bill Russell, nightmare, right? This guy isn't a good free throw shooter. He's a really good free throw shooter. He made 80% this year. And let me just throw out a few games of his this year. Just this past regular season, he had 3 12 out of 14 games. He had a 19 of 22. He had a 12 out of 12. He had a 17 of 19 free throws. He had 14 of 17, and then he pulled it all off coming home against Boston, 20 of 21 against the Celtics. So against the Celtics just this year, he made 47 of 55 free throws. Man, I'm sorry, that was a 4-game stretch. He's 39 of 42 against the Celtics, 93% this year. For his career against Boston, he's 92%. That's your arch rival in the East. No big man's ever been able to do that. Is he shooting too many threes because it just goes up, 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 and the percentage is creeping down? Yes, he does. But can he make big threes? He made 3 out of 4 last night because he's got clutch blood in him. He's got some killer in him. I told you earlier in the show, Dwight Howard never took anything seriously enough. This guy, when it's time, he'll clown and celebrate and do the airplane and the shimmy shake and the rock the baby and all that. But when it's time to make clutch shots or clutch blocks, I haven't seen anything better than this guy. And just before I hand it off to you, did you see the back-to-back plays he made on defense and offense last night? It was mid-second quarter. If we could see this, there's a block on Norman Powell. How do you pull that? That's a big man, just block that shot from behind. So then they come up to the other end, and here he comes, and he's coming up the floor, and he's the trailer, and he just right in Gasol's face, boom. Now, those are two extraordinary plays by a 7-foot guy. Again, does he have some weight issues? Yes, I get all that. But look at the potential of those two plays. He blocked a smaller man who had a step on him, and then he comes down and shoots a cold-blooded 3 right in Gasol's mug. Okay?
Skip, I can't say I disagree with you. I actually agree with you, but I had to hear what Mark said. I thought Mark was saying he's going to be. He said he should be in the conversation. Because I was like, he should be in the conversation as the all-time greatest. I said he might be, but it's going to be a conversation he's having by himself. Now, should he be, Skip? None of these big men that you mentioned possessed his skill set.
No.
None of them could shoot the basketball like he could.
They seriously
don't.
don't.
They didn't have three-point range.
That's a mouthful you're saying.
They did not.
They did
Look,
not.
Wow.
I watched Kareem. I watched Shaq. I watched Hakeem Olajuwon, who's one of my favorite players. I watched David Robinson. I wasn't alive. I was alive, but I was a little bitty boy when Wilt was playing. Don't remember anything about Bill Russell but the footage. None of them could shoot the ball like he could. That's not conjecture, Skip. That's not hyperbole. That's fact. So, and he said something very important. He says, barring injury.
Yep.
Remember Mark Jackson, they criticized Mark Jackson. In 2013, Mark Jackson said Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are the best shooting backcourt in the history of the NBA. Man, Mark Jackson crazy. He's a homer. He's suffering from, I don't know if this is a word, homerism, which is the act of being a homer.
Okay.
Whoa, no way. Do you remember this backcourt? Do you remember that backcourt? Ask anybody that said Mark Jackson was crazy when he made that statement, how they feel about Steph and Klay right now. So, he should be. He said it's a crime with the ability that he possesses.
Yep.
If Joel Embiid does not put himself in that conversation, it's a crime on him, not us, because we see what he possessed.
Sure.
The skill set, the ability to shoot the basketball. You foul him, as you mentioned. He was shot 80% this year. He's a 79% free throw shooter for his career.
Yeah.
Very few, Skip, they're the big men shooting 79% from the free throw line. That doesn't happen very often. So he should, when it's all said and done, you said it very well. I don't know if he'll play long enough because all those guys played in the teens, 13, 14, 15 years.
Or Kareem.
Yeah, Kareem played 20. Shaq played like 18, 17, 18. David Robinson played for a number of years. Elijah Wan, I think, played 16, 17. Can he get to those? Can he make it to 10? Can he make it to 10 with his health-related issue, with his knee? But he should be in the conversation with his ability, Skip.
Yep. I always said, to me, Shaquille O'Neal was the most dominant big man I ever saw, but it was only for about a three-year stretch in which he was in better shape than he'd ever been.
Right.
Not his best, because he never was in great shape.
His first couple of years when he got in the league, he was.
Maybe.
You ain't seen anything like that,
But
Skip.
those three with Kobe when they just dominated. Again, I covered a bunch of those games, and it was football, basketball. It was almost unreffable because every play was like, is it offensive, defensive, foul? Because he's just running over people.
Yeah.
But nobody could stop him offensively, and he was a dominating force on the defensive end.
But Skip, the thing that's working against Joel Embiid that worked against Shaq was his body size.
Yep.
Look at Elijah Wan. Elijah Wan wasn't a big man.
No.
Look at Kareem. He wasn't a big. Kareem is still a slender guy.
But he's
Look,
7'2".
Yeah, but I'm saying he's slender. Look, he wasn't 300.
No.
He wasn't 330. He wasn't 340.
No. Bill Russell was only like 6'9".
Yeah, 6'9".
Yeah,
slender man.
Yeah, but strong.
Yeah, David Robinson.
Yep.
Slenderly built.
Yep.
So that's the problem. And as you get older, nutrition and exercise, and big guys are gonna have ankle and feet problem and knee problem.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot of I don't know if when God made man, I don't know if he really envisioned a 7', 7'5" guy running up and down the basketball court, jumping up and down, 3 or 4 times a week. I don't know if that's what he envisioned the man doing, but somehow the body can do that. You're asking an awful lot for Joel Embiid. Skip, they lift Joel Embiid at 250 pounds?
Yeah.
They say Joel Embiid, they said, who's the other big guy? What's the other big guy with them, with Philly? Where is he? Greg Monroe.
Oh, Greg Monroe.
Greg Monroe. They say Greg Monroe outweighs Joel Embiid by 15 pounds.
I don't know about that.
They got Greg Monroe at 265. They got Joel Embiid at 250. Joel Embiid hadn't weighed 250 since he was in high school. That's the problem that concerns. That's it, Skip. But skill set, touch, shooting the basketball, look here. That's no disrespect to those guys because those guys are in the Hall. They're all-time greats. But they couldn't shoot the ball like this kid can shoot the ball.
LeBron James can't shoot the ball like this kid can shoot the ball. Seriously. Seriously.
Look.
LeBron is a career 74% free throw shooter. And again, he's improved some as a three-point shooter.
A lot.
Yeah, some. But listen, he doesn't have the stroke and the touch that this giant man has.
Well, guess what? I know another guy didn't have the stroke and the touch that this giant man had.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
The jump man.
Huh?
Jump man can't shoot three-pointers like him.
The jump man didn't try to shoot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That man, right? That's what I'm saying. So you always try to get me. I'm not going there because I know. Because here's the thing: you try to drag LeBron into this, and then I bring Jordan up, but I ain't gonna let you do it.
Drag.
Yeah. He tried to put, but no. I'm gonna resist the force. I'm gonna resist the urge.
I was just trying to point out how extraordinary this guy is because the guy you still say is the best player on the planet doesn't have this free throw touch this man does.
I can resist the urge of like somebody else I know when they walk past. Right, Jenny?
I don't know.
Where you going? Where you going today, Jenny?
Depends where I'm going.
I don't know. Where are you going, Jenny?
Going to brunch. I'm going to brunch.
That I didn't get Skip and I didn't
My
get invited.
friends from the show.
Oh, I'm glad. Hey,
You're
I'm glad we
both
free.
invited.
No. Don't do that.
I just didn't want to bug you guys on a Friday. There's a lot of plans
But
going
what did you tell me, Jenny? Oh, I knew you were going out of town, so that's why I scheduled it today. Did you not say that?
I did say that.
Oh, okay.
It's good planning.
Okay.
Skip, I didn't think
I'm
you
lost.
wanted to come. I'm sorry, I didn't
I have
invite
no
you.
idea.
But I would love to take you and Ernestine out one day.
No, Skip, don't go. Don't go. Say if Shay Sharpe can't go,
Just put on
Ernestine
the act.
can't go.
Wow,
I
Shannon.
can't go. Yep.
Nothing is safe.
We're a
he
package
said.
deal. Skip
Will
Bayless
the
and Shannon
Greek
Sharpe are a
Freak
package deal.
lead the Bucks to a win in Boston tonight? I'm in charge of this, Shannon. We're moving on. We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
The Bucks are on the road tonight in a crucial Game 3 matchup against the Celtics. The series is tied 1-1, and Boston is a small favorite. Giannis scored 29 points in the Bucks' blowout win in Game 2, while Kyrie only scored 9 points and had a horrible shooting night, going 4 for 18. Shannon, who wins tonight?
Celtics. Kyrie won't have another game like he had in Game 2, Skip. He's not going to go
4 out of 18.
He's not going 4-18. He's too good of a ball player, and
Yep.
we know normally when players of Kyrie's ilk have a bad game, shooting game, they normally bounce back in a big way. I expect him to bounce back. Give the Milwaukee credit because they Budenholzer, the head coach, they made adjustments after what they saw the Celtics were doing to them in Game 1 and came out with a different game plan. But it's simple as this, Skip. This game was close. The second game, Game 2, was close for about the first 2 or 3 minutes of the third quarter, and then all of a sudden, Milwaukee caught fire. They couldn't miss a shot. The Celtics couldn't buy a basket. And what was a 2-3-point lead, all of a sudden 12-24 ball game. Actually went to
31.
Yeah, actually went to 38. Went to 30. Yeah, exactly. So I expect the Celtics to play a lot better in Game 3 than they did in the Game 2, and I expect Kyrie Irving to have a maestro.
Happy Kyrie? Is he going to resurface?
He said, did he tell y'all that's what y'all traded for him for? That's what he's made for.
That's what he
So
said.
he likes adversity. He likes that pressure.
Okay. So did Budenholzer go to his team and say, I'm going to switch our game plan. I need you guys to make 20 threes. How about that? Is that what he told them?
No.
We're going to shoot 47 threes, and I need you to make 20 of them. Those are also going to be franchise records for attempts and makes in a playoff game, right?
Yep.
Well, that's what happened in that game, and yet it disturbed me as a guy who picked the Celtics to win this series. And are you backing off now?
No. Oh, I think I got the Milwaukee. Yeah, I got Milwaukee.
You think you got Milwaky?
No, I got Milwaukee.
Are you
I think I got Milwaukee. I got the Celtics.
Sometimes
in
you
Game
can't
3.
remember who
Celtics
you got.
tonight.
I got the Celtics tonight.
But you got Milwaukee to win game. They're going to have to win Game 4 then, right? You got that?
Yep.
Do you want a case on that right now? I'm just saying. I'm just asking. I don't know. I like Boston tonight also, but again, I was disturbed by how they let the ceiling fall on them in Milwaukee. It was not a good look. It was not a good sign. They not only lost momentum, the momentum is going to swing wildly into this game tonight. Milwaukee's got to feel real good about itself.
When that deluge come like that, what you gonna do? I mean, if you're getting 5 inches an hour, there's nothing. No umbrella can withstand that.
I'm not going to say they quit, but they just folded their tent and said, "We're going to Boston. We'll see you guys in Boston."
We got our split.
Yeah.
We got our split here,
so they won Game 1, 112-90. If my math serves, that's 22 points.
Yeah.
So they won by 22, and then they play them a pretty good half and a little bit of the third quarter, and then they fall behind by 31. How can you do that?
Wild.
Who are these teams?
What a swing.
Right?
Well, like you said, it's as simple as this. Doc said it best. It's a make or miss league. Those threes started falling. Now they couldn't help off Giannis. Giannis got one-on-one. Now he's getting easy buckets. Middleton couldn't, 7 of 10 from the 3. Bledsoe got hot. Bledsoe he's the guy, Skip, that really needs to play well, because Giannis is going to do Giannis things.
Well, he didn't do Giannis things in Game 1, but he did in Game 2, especially in the third quarter.
Because what happened? They started making threes,
Yep.
so now they can't double down on him because,
Well, he had a good game in the third quarter the other night.
Yeah.
15 and 6. Ooh, that'll work, right?
Still not better than Bron,
Yeah.
but okay.
Well, whatever. I won't even argue that. But again, I told you going into this series, Boston is the mentally tougher team, more experienced, just better basketball team to me, and that will out over time.
So you got the Celtics in what, 6?
Yeah, I do. I'm good. Wavering? Yep. I
Got
hear
Bucks.
waver.
I told you I had the Bucks in 7.
The Bucks stop here.
Bucks in 7.
Bucks up here.
Yeah.
I like that.
Jenny liked one.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I
good.
like a lot of things
thank
around
you.
here.
No, you don't. That's why you didn't get invited to brunch. Jenny,
I don't know anything about a brunch.
Yeah, you don't.
Enough with the
That was the whole purpose.
Next question.
You wasn't
We
supposed
have
to know. We keep you in the
big
dark.
News, guys. I've got some breaking.
Uh-oh, we
NBA
got breaking
coaching
news.
We will tell you about it next. Stay with us.
I'm sorry, I got to go.
no mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. We have breaking news. Monty Williams is the new head coach of the Phoenix Suns. Williams' new deal is reportedly for 5 years. He was assumed to be one of the top 2 candidates to coach the Lakers. So, I guess that's out. Shannon, what is your reaction?
5-year deal with some nice young pieces, Devin Booker, Josh Jackson, DeAndre Ayton. They're tied for the best odds of getting the number 1 pick. Although I'm sure they would love to have the big kid Zion, Ja Morant probably would be a better fit, Skip, because he's a point guard, and he's a true point guard. He's not masquerading.
I agree.
So I like it. And now it's even more obvious.
Huh? Is it? Are you sure about that? Because I am
sure,
not.
I ain't sure about anything the Lakers
So
doing.
my first takeaway is it sure looks like Monty Williams said, I just want the Phoenix job. I don't want your Lakers circus job. I want no part of that. I'm taking this for all the reasons you just detailed. Mikal Bridges is in there too. You got lots of young pieces. Kelly Oubre. It's a nice young team. It'd be a lot of fun
max
to
money,
coach.
so he might not be back.
Okay, well,
Oubre.
okay, well, whatever. But again, it'll be fun to coach. Other team here in LA, not so much fun to coach. So here's the key. Are they going to announce Ty Lue this afternoon? It sure doesn't sound like it. Maybe they're leaning that direction. But will Jeannie Buss, will she balk at conceding public control to LeBron by saying, I'm going to give you Ty Lue? Or will they expand their coaching search? Or I got another name for you. If the shadow owner of the Lakers reportedly is now Linda Rambis, could Kurt Rambis be the shadow coach? You don't think he'd like to coach this team? He's coached before.
You don't think LeBron would ask for a trade?
I don't know. What if she says to him, she and Linda say, sorry, we run this franchise and this is the coach.
I thought, didn't last year when I was trying to get Anthony Davis, or I wanted Anthony Davis, you wanted to trade me.
That is correct.
Okay, so go ahead. Hold true to your words.
Okay.
Be a woman of your words.
Yeah.
Like as the words of Skip Bayless, he probably in the other words of Skip Bayless, have the courage of your conviction.
Yeah.
Get me up out of here.
Okay. Well, you think that's going to happen?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Rambis is the coach.
Yeah.
It better happen.
Well, are they going to expand their search to some other candidate out there that we haven't thought
It's
about?
Ty Lue or bust.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are they going to? Why shouldn't they just announce it today?
Well, maybe Monty Williams got tired. It's like, hold on, y'all. You know what? Y'all try to do. Look, y'all gonna offer me the job? Well, Monty, we just want. So guess what? I already got a job.
Yeah.
Yep, he had a job in hand.
He did, and he had a good job.
Yeah. So I don't even know why he was fooling around with the Lakers. The Lakers are Skip. There's a lot of stuff going on. We talk about the locker room and the young guys like LeBron wanting to trade them, but that's a bigger mess upstairs.
It is.
Than what's going on in the locker room.
I wouldn't wish it upon anybody, especially a great guy like Monty Williams.
Well, hold on.
Out.
Well, you talk about Monty Williams.
Yeah.
What about LeBron?
Well, I told you, I feel sorry for LeBron.
All-time great.
I wouldn't blame
himself.
him. I would not blame him for asking out. I would not. But the question is, who wants it?
It's a big task.
Katie, where you going? There's LeBron and Katie face. Where you going? All right.
You think that's what's happening?
I think KD will not take that call.
Katie taking LeBron call?
No.
Katie and LeBron like that, Skip. You always try to start dissension.
KD
Just because Michael didn't take
That
anybody.
is it for us. We'll be back
LeBron.
Monday
No, he
morning
did
at
not.
9:30 Eastern. Right now,
making
Colin
that
tells
up.
you why the Sixers better enjoy Joel Embiid now before it's too late. The Herd starts right now.
No mercy.
Thank you for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Keep an eye out for the weekend edition of the podcast tomorrow morning, featuring this week's best segments. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.